Pirates, Rangers, Rockies for World Series. Hey, man, don't leave out the... who am I missing? Don't leave out the Rangers. No, you included the Rangers. Don't leave out the Tigers, the Orioles is what I meant. That's the F tier here. Hey, Pepito, how's it going? What's going on, Kaysen? Nice to see you again. I hope you're having a good day as well. Good to see you, Senor Olive. What's going on, C-Town? Zach, I'm literally not late. I'm on time. What do you mean? What's up, WMT? Did I do a fantasy baseball draft already? That was our second stream, and I scrapped it because bots, like, swarmed it, and it kind of ruined the VOD. But yeah, I have one team. I may do another. I don't know. It's getting a little late. I don't know. Hey, Ben Brady, how's it going? Tigers, I think, are very underrated. Yeah, a little bit. They got a fun young core. We're going to talk about them today. Yo, what's up? What's going on? What's going on? I guess I should pull up Fangraphs. Get some depth charts going for the teams we talk about. Oh my god, it's me, Omar Narvaez. I was 1 second late? Yeah, end me. Cancel me, I'm canceled. Okay, so those will all be there. That's good. I can just leave that for now. Hey, Flamer, what's going on? How's my day going? Today was a really good day, actually. A bunch of very exciting news coming your way for the Jolly Olive faithful. Got some very cool stuff in the works. Very, very cool. Can't tell you anything yet, but I'm really excited too. That's what I'll say. Mike Zunino had a crazy month. Yeah, I have that written down in my little idea pad. So be on the lookout for that if I pick up Monster Months again. I took a little break because the last couple ones didn't do fantastic. I give the Braves love. Gabriel Rodriguez, I put them at first in my projection. I still think they're better than the Mets, even though the Mets look better on paper. Can the Royals make the postseason? Like 1 or 2% shot? A lot of things have to go right. Hey, Micah Johnson got to a stream. John Hebron got here early. What's going on, guys? Thanks for showing up. Appreciate it. What's going on, AB? The Robbie stream went well. We got about like a peak of 60 viewers, which is pretty good. Talked some NL East. I had to leave a little bit early, but it was good. A lot of people liked us. A lot of people want us to start a podcast now. I don't know about that. Last time I started a podcast, it didn't go fantastically, but we'll see. We'll see. I'm feeling good today, too, Seamer. Got a lot of good news today. Got a lot of good news. Cool stuff in the works. Very legit stuff. Very surprised at how much is cooking for just, 8 months of progress. So it's been a very good day. Matt Holliday's Rocktober is a very good one. Sportstorm just did a great video on Rocktober. If you guys want to go watch a video about that topic, I suggest that video. Is going to be projected on record or pure talent? Like, what will the Cubs be, the Marlins? It's just my picks, honestly. You're probably going to disagree with a decent bit of them. I have them split into tiers here just to make it a little bit easier for me. So, like, these 5 teams, none of them are going to be past, like, the 26 mark because the F tier teams are going to go in these 5 slots down here. So that's, like, basically the crux of how we're going to be doing this. Thank you, too, Seamer. Appreciate it. Oh, there's 2 Micahs. Very nice. That Mets vs. Braves is going to be the second best rivalry in baseball. I think Dodgers-Padres are probably first. Oh, Pepito, you're an Angels fan. Very interesting. Very interesting. Well, I'm sorry for the anguish you've had to deal with over the past few years. Yeah, I'm playing baseball right now. Omar Narvaez is here. That's where you guys got it twisted. There you go. 41 watching. Let's give it a few more min before we kick it into gear. I just noticed you sound a lot like my baseball coach. I am your baseball coach. Did you do your homework? Did you work on your reps or whatever you guys have been practicing? Braves Marlins is a rivalry? Sure. What fan is Chester? Oh, God. I don't know. Let's say Phillies. I don't know. Is that right? Probably not. I know these teams are going to be interesting. I agree. Music still good, by the way? Still too high, too low? Mets in A tier? Yeah, I think so. Why not? They got 6 teams in A tier. Oh, this shouldn't be here. I need to clean this up. Yeah, I got Yankees, Dodgers, Padres, Braves, Mets, White Sox as the best 6 teams in baseball. And I think it's only... Oh, hey, what's up, Sungmin Kin? Very cool. Doing a lot of cool things. Thank you for the comment. I appreciate it. The Omar Narvaez baseball Cleveland team. Okay, cool. Got it. I wouldn't have guessed. I really wouldn't have. Music sounds decent. I'm talking about Cleveland. Okay. Go Braves. Travis is a Yankees fan. I know. Don't worry. Made it very clear. I think it was either last stream or the stream before. Red Sox are going to be terrible. We'll see. Won't we? Won't we see? Won't we? Electricity homework. Interesting. 53 watching? Okay. 2 more minutes. We'll kick it into gear. 7:10. How about that? Jays are raised for second in their division. Boy, Jays are getting beat up by the injury bug. I'm a little bit less high on them now. They lost Yates. They still haven't signed Shane Green, which they need to do. The rotation already worried me to begin with, and I think Robbie Ray is injured. I don't know, man. I'm feeling the Rays a little bit more now, but we'll see. You love the hairdo? Thanks, man. I needed a cut. It was getting pretty bad, so I appreciate it. I thought it was a little too short on the sides, but I'm digging it now. I'm digging it. White Sox number 2 team in MLB. We will see. I don't know about all that, though. That's a little hype. Maybe on paper, but they lost Eloy, so you got to remember that. Ahmed Rosario switched to center field is not working out. Yeah, it didn't work for the Mets either, man. I feel bad because he can be a good middle infielder on a team where he can get regular reps, but Cleveland's not it. They should flip him. Did you see Mark had the Nats as the 9th best team in MLB? You guys got to... Oh, 9th? Wow. I had them as 5th in the NL East, so we definitely disagree there. Wow. 9th? That's better than a lot of teams. I assumed that these teams were all in the top 6, which means that they had to have beat out like the Cardinals and maybe the Twins and the A's. That's very surprising. Very surprising. Steven Wright, Sideman, the Pie. Is that the knuckleballer? That's cool. I like that move. I mean, if he's even a 5 ERA guy, he'll eat innings for them, so that's good. I like to see knuckleballers still in the game. That's all. Most underrated team in the league, Brewers. Good pick, Ben. Honestly, I might say the same thing. Nats could be good, yeah, but a lot has to go right. All right, we'll talk about it in a little bit, but I think we can kick things into gear. What's up, George Sarmiento? Hope I'm saying that right. Thank you for tuning in to the stream. Okay, so we're doing MLB Power Rankings today. All 30 teams are going to get a spot, nice and cozy on our little rank here. I'm going to give my pick for the best hitter on that respective team, as well as the best pitcher. These are different teams, different tiers for the teams. We have F tier, D tier, C tier, and so on and so forth, B tier, A tier, until we rank all 30 through number 1. We're obviously going to start at the bottom and save that the good stuff for later. Yeah, Lewis, the Twitch stream. Well, I mean, it's because I didn't save my game and then the game crashed. So the future ones will be better. Okay, gonna kick this off really quick. Sorry to any Rangers fans in chat, but the Texas Rangers are gonna be the worst team in baseball this year, in my opinion. There's a couple good picks here for the worst team in baseball. You could say Pirates. You could also say Colorado Rockies. I would even argue maybe even the Baltimore Orioles. I'm going with the Texas Rangers just because nothing they have done has impressed me. I mean, they got David Dahl, and they have Joey Gallo, but nothing's cooking for them, really. Maybe it's a spicy pick for last place team, but I also just have a little bit of disdain for the Rangers just because of the cyclical nature of their failure. They just lost Leclerc to Tommy John, is what Lewis Foster just said in chat. That hurts because he's supposed to be a big piece of their bullpen. So really, the only, especially with Rougned Odor getting DFA'd today, he was one of the longtime Rangers. Basically, all they have cooking for them is David Dahl, who hopefully can come back after a bad 2020. Joey Gallo, who we know is good OPS-wise, not so much, not being a 3-result hitter. And then their rotation, I mean, we can take a look, but, it's slim pickings here for the Rangers. Let's check out their depth chart, which we can find here. Astros most underrated team ever. Gallo to St. Louis would be a nice fit if one of their young outfielders doesn't perform, maybe. So let's see. They got Nate Lau. It's kind of a fun pickup, I guess. Kiner Falefa took home the Gold Glove last year. Brock Holt's going to start every day. That's kind of nice, especially for the Bo Sox fans in chat. That's kind of a good one. Let's get a little zoom in there so we can see a little bit better. Even more, actually. There we go. That's better. Kyle Gibson, yikes. Yeah, you don't want Kyle Gibson as your opening day ace. Pitcher, you want him as like your number 5, maybe. He's going on opening day. I do like Kohei Arihara. I think he's going to be a rookie this year. And I like the bounce back potential of Mike Foltynewicz, but I mean, there's no doubt in my mind that this is the worst team in baseball. even with the Pirates get to play some bad NL Central teams and bad Central teams in general. They'll get some games against the Tigers. They'll get some games against the Reds. There are wins to pick up. Whereas I think the AL West and NL West are definitely a lot more competitive. The only team that the Rangers can really pick on and possibly get some series wins where they're projected to win is maybe the Colorado Rockies. But that's pretty much it. And I still think I would pick the Rockies over the Rangers. So for their best hitter of the year, I'm going to just go with the safe pick and say Joey Gallo, even though I think he might get traded. I think he's going to be their best hitter. I don't think that's many people would disagree with me there. Starting in center field for the Rangers is Leody Taveras. Yep, you're right about that. Handy Manny's cut looking clean. What's going on, Mike? Thanks, man. I appreciate that. And then their best pitcher, I'm going to go with Kohei? I think it's Kohei Arihara. International signing. Don't know much about him. I did some research on him when we did AOS projections. There is no S tier, Connor. We just did A tier. I mean, if you did S tier, it would be Dodgers Padres. Like, we could do that, but it's all good. So no stats for him. Nothing's popping up. It says DH here. It's interesting. Tyson Ross got a minors deal. That's cool. You know what? Why don't we go with... I don't know. Yeah, I'll go with Kohei Arihara. Perfect. Rangers don't matter. We're not going to spend too much time on them. They really don't matter. Would just be Dodgers IMO? Yeah, but that would kind of give away who I want to put first, right? I don't remember. I actually don't know, Connor. I haven't done my proper research on the Rangers just because if I'm being dead ass, I don't care about the Texas Rangers. I just don't. Yeah, maybe. This isn't their number one starter. This is just who I think is going to be their best performer by season's end. All right, number 29 for me, I'm going to go with the Pittsburgh Pirates. Yeah, I know, Travis. I got plenty of comments about that. What's up, Ethan? How's it going, man? 29 is going to be the Pirates. The only thing putting them below the Rockies here is that the Rockies have German Marquez and Kyle Freeland and also Trevor Story. So they have some star-studded pieces, and they get to play in that very offensively friendly park, as much as I love PNC Park. The Pirates, I didn't want to put them last because I just think that they're better than the Rangers, even though, we're really scraping the bottom of the barrel here. Let's check out the Pittsburgh Pirates. They have some fun players going on. Kevin Newman's batting like 700 in spring training, which is super fun. Love that story. Tyler Gallo, what's going on, man? Congratulations on your ESPN gig. Very cool. Colin Moran is not who you want to see at first base. I like Jacob Stallings. I like Kevin Newman after his electric spring training. Ke'Bryan Hayes is obviously going to be awesome. He's probably my pick for their best hitter. But then you go to the pitching, and Tyler Anderson's getting the opening day nod, which is not what you'd love to see. Not really what you love to see. Oh, no, he's not. I'm sorry. Chad Kuhl is. My bad. Chad Kuhl was announced today as the opening day starter. The guy you want to look out here for best potential, I think, is Mitch Keller. Mitch Keller's got some good stuff. Steven Brault's pretty good, but I know he's coming back from a little bit of an injury. He's day-to-day. It was this lat, okay? Who the heck is their best pitchers? Yeah, it would be Chad Kuhl. Mitch Keller, I think, has a lot of potential. In the bullpen, Richard Rodriguez is pretty good. So honestly, I think for their best pitcher, I'm just going to put their closer, Richard Rodriguez. Had a, pretty good past couple seasons. Almost accumulated 1.0 WAR, I believe. 0.6, okay. So he's a little far off. Let's check him out real quick. Keller throws gas. Yeah, he's good in video games. He just needs to put it together in real life. That's all. I don't know who the Pirates are going to take, whether it's Rocker or Leiter. The Jack Leiter video is coming soon, by the way. I was working on it today. Very exciting stuff. Let's see. Okay, let's see. Also, I guess you guys are chilling with Shohei Ohtani. He's been hanging out there. I thought that was a good pick for the player spot. I'm down to leave him be. ESPN is a terrible organization. Yeah, I mean, they're not great, but... Let's see. So, yeah, he ate up a bunch of innings for them past couple... Oh, no, those are projections. Excuse me. Here we go. 63, 72, 24. Had a good last season. Only 4 saves, so I think this is going to be his first time in the... Yeah. He's put it together in a, over a full season in the closer's role. And then for hitters, I think it would be foolish to not go with Ke'Bryan Hayes, a large favorite to take home NL Rookie of the Year. no real surprise there. Honestly, they're trying to lock him into an extension. If I was him, unfortunately for Pirates fans, I would not take it. I would get out of there just as soon as my team control is over. But they're giving him some pretty good deals. They're investing in him, so it remains to be seen. It reminds me a lot of what the Phillies gave Scott Kingery. But you got to remember that Kingery is not performing well right now, so there is risk to doing that kind of thing. But the Pirates have no money locked up in any players besides Gregory Polanco. So who knows? I don't know. Am I going to do more college videos? I think I'm going to do like a partner video with Kumar Rocker. So like one for Jack Leiter, one for Kumar Rocker, probably to predict where they fall in the draft. Don't put Bauer, Mike. You wouldn't do that to me. That's crazy. Yankees in 4? Against who, quotes? What do you mean? Let's see. Brian Reynolds will be an OBP machine? Yeah, I think so. That's not a bad pick. He's looked pretty good. I am going to put the Colorado Rockies nice and cozy down here at 28th. The 28th best team in MLB this season. They have Trevor Story. They have German Marquez. They have Kyle Freeland, who I personally still believe in, but that's pretty much it. If we go check out their depth chart as well, let's go find them really quick. Do some looking. I mean, their best hitter is going to be Trevor Story. They have abysmal catching depth. CJ Cron's getting the nod at first, although I want to see Greg Bird. We're my Yankees fans. Let's go Greg Bird. Hope he gets a nod. Brennan Rogers has been very disappointing. The guy drafted after Dansby Swanson. Trevor Story's Trevor Story, great player. Ryan McMahon, who's been moving around everywhere. He was a first baseman, then he was a second baseman, now he's a third baseman. Hopefully he can settle into one position. Charlie Blackmon is not fit to be an everyday outfielder anymore. I hope he gets flipped to go be a DH in the AL. Where does Trevor go at the deadline, if at all? I really want the Mariners to outperform their expectations and then go get Trevor Story. It's very much a long shot and does not fit the blueprint of what the Mariners do, but I feel like if they're an above 500 team, they have more draft capital to flip than anybody, and that's what the Rockies are looking for. The Rockies aren't really in the market for money. Hell, they could afford to give away $50 million to get rid of Nolan. I think they're in the process of a complete overhaul and doing a rebuild, and I think the Mariners would be a perfect pair for Trevor Story, even if it's just for the one season. So that's kind of what I hope happens. I don't think it will. I'm not saying by any stretch of the imagination that it will, but that's what I hope for. Greg Bird, heck yeah, let's go. Cron exists. Bird won't get the nod. That's sad. MLB expansion cities? Charlotte, Portland. Those are the ones that come to mind for me. And then they're pitching. German Marquez obviously takes the cake for the best guy in the bunch. John Gray, will he ever live up to his potential? His WAR says so. His numbers do not. And we got our first dono. In honor of him opting out and potentially ending his career, the Baltimore legend, King Felix. I think that's a good one to go with. Let's pull him up. I hope it's not the end. Oh, we got 2 in a row. Handy Manny or Trevor Bauer in a Dodgers hat. Take your pick. Okay, we're going to do Felix Hernandez first. And then, unfortunately, after 5 minutes or so, we will go to Trevor Bauer. So, sorry guys, I don't make the rules, but that is how it's going. He always does have the worst timing. This is true. That's all right, Mike. I appreciate the dono regardless. All right, because of it sitting better in my brain, I'm going to do Mariners, King Felix, instead of Orioles, because, we never saw him get an inning with the Orioles, so. Black jerseys are back, confirmed. Very nice, Tyler, very nice. Thank you for keeping me posted. Good stuff. That's some Mets news for you right there. All right, let's get Shohei out of here. Let's pull up our guy, Senor Felix. What's king in Spanish? I should know that. I took Spanish for like 3 years. Excuse me. Excuse me. There we go. Oh, look at that face. I love Felix. Such a good player. Deserved so much more. Lock him in. We'll pull up Trevor Bauer. Is there no Dodgers one of him yet? That seems hard. Yeah, there it is. I was going to say, that seems hard to believe. Infinite screen. Okay. In a few minutes, I will put Trevor Bauer up there, unfortunately. You a black jersey fan? Of course I am. Come on, Matt. Also, Matt, what's going on? Nice to see you, man. If the Phillies are in the hunt and make a move at the deadline, should they get a Story or they should get a better starter? I don't think they need Story, if I'm being completely honest. But I also don't think that they're going to be competing late into the season. That's a little bit of my Mets bias. But, that's a whole nother discussion. So I don't think they trade for Trevor Story, but they do have Dom Browski at the helm, so don't be surprised if they make a big move if they're competing. Don't be surprised at all. Handy Manny hype train, let's go, baby. Let's go. Let's go. Let's see. 6 players have worn 69. I know one of them is Tommy Malone because I just did the video on him. Best hitter and best pitcher are obvious for the Rockies. If you dispute, don't know what you're talking about because these two are clearly the best on the team and will probably get traded, should get traded, if the Rockies are going to commit to doing their rebuild. All right, let's keep the F tier going. I'm picking the Baltimore Orioles to be the number 27 team in the league. They surprised some people last year. Bear in mind, it was a 60-game season, so there was room for unrealistic expectations or unrealistic performance. The Orioles definitely outperformed their projections and then sort of came back down to earth in the last month of the season, but I do like the things that they got going on, especially Ryan Mountcastle, who Foolish Baseball is sleeping on, apparently. If you go check out the latest Foolish Bailey video, he's a hitter that Foolish does not like for 2021. I disagree. I think Mountcastle is my frontrunner to take home AL Rookie of the Year. We'll see. We'll definitely see. Freddie Galvis is a good trade piece for them. Michael Franco was a great pickup. I don't know why no one got him. Mike, you're definitely right. Maybe that'll come true one day. What's going on, Dr. Touchdown? Nice to see you again. Stream MVP. DJ Stewart looked really good in spades last season and also during the spring. He has an injury right now, hamstring. That's not good. Especially for his left field play. It's not that good to begin with. Anthony Santander. They got some bats, dude. They really got some bats. It's the pitching, really. Matt Harvey, for all my Mets fans, is the number 2 starter for the Orioles. That's awesome. Definitely did not expect him to make the team, let alone be the number 2 guy. John Means is still their guy. They also have Dean Kremer, Bruce Zimmerman, who Giraffe Neck Mark did a nice little analysis on. He's due for a big year. Wade LeBlanc back here. They got some good bullpen pieces too. I really like Cesar Valdez. I think he's going to be a stud this year. And I'm actually going to lock him in as their pitcher of the year. I think his changeup is the most odd changeup in the league. It's very strange. It has a very unique movement to it, and he really discovered it last season. And he was part of my One Pitch Wonders video, which is why I was able to do such a deep dive on him. So I like him a lot for their best pitcher of the year. That's my first reliever guy. And then I'm going to choose Ryan Mountcastle to be their best hitter on the year. I'm sticking with my guns because I think he's going to possibly take home Rookie of the Year. Remains to be seen. But I like those picks. Personally, I'm going to put the Orioles at number 27. I'm also going to put Trevor Bauer on the stream, which is a sentence I did not think I was going to say today. But unfortunately, that is the case, because someone donated money to me, and now I must do what they ask, because such is the life of a content creator. You know? I will say, I do think Bauer looks good with his beard. I think it's a good look, honestly. It's better than his babyface look. I will say that. Beard's a good look. When it was first coming in, it was a little neck beardy, and I was like, I don't know about all that, but... Oh, we got another one! My boy Nolan Arenado went yard against the Mets today in spring training. Let's get him up there. I will get him up there in 5, for sure. We got to let Trevor Bauer sit, unfortunately, as much pain as that gives me. It's okay. I'm not a huge Bauer hater, don't get me wrong. Like, you can label bitter Mets fan, that's okay. But, you know, he's fine. Not my cup of tea, but he's good for the game. So, can't hate him. Coming in clutch to take out Bauer? Yeah, soon. Momentarily. Don't want to completely void that guy's donation. So what have we done? 4 teams so far? How's everyone doing? Don't want to speed through this. I'd like this to be a longer stream, because I got a busy week ahead of me, so I want this to last. Let's see. Let's check out the chat. Wasn't there for the beginning of the stream. What are your thoughts on the Angels this year? You will see. We haven't discussed them yet. I will discuss them soon. The dead fish changeup. Yes, that is what it's called, Corey. I remember that. Somebody left a very detailed comment on that video telling me all about that. Was there a Bauer PNG with one eye closed? No. Oh, God, no, please. Let's see. Bauer. Johnny Olive, what's going on, iTalk? Let's see. Okay, I think we'll keep it going. Cubs are worse than the Tigers. I don't agree with that. But I will say the Tigers are the kings. The kings of the F tier. They are the top dog in the F tier. Nobody messes with the young gun Tigers. Listen, a lot has to go right for the Tigers to be somewhat competitive this year. I think they are a fringe 70-win team. Probably the only 70-win team from that bunch in the F tier. Full of that capability. Well, check out their depth chart. I really like their rotation. I'm sure, That's what everyone's saying. I will say Wilson Ramos dropped about 20 to 30 pounds in the offseason. He looks good. He's hopefully going to be running a little bit better because the dude was a tank with the Mets. Bit of a conundrum here at first base. I think it's Renato Nunez getting the most of the nods. Jonathan Scope, whatever. Willie Castro's got some promise. I like Heimer Candelario, kind of slumped in 2019, bounced back last year. Owens' changeup is nasty, let it be known. I thought he was about to say the Tigers are the best team in the league. No, best team in the F tier. Be back later. All right, Lewis, don't miss it, bro. Let's see. And then Jacoby Jones, he hit pretty well in that short 2020 season. Always plays a good center field. Nomar Mazara was a nice low-cost pickup for them. The real story here is their pitching. We're not talking about Matthew Boyd. Matthew Boyd is not good. Spencer Turnbull, though, expect a good season from him. Tarek Skubal, he got the call. Casey Mize is in the rotation. Julio Teheran actually pitched pretty well for them in spring, and then Jose Urena, who is the renowned Acuna hater. They also got Michael Fulmer, who will be in the bullpen. Matt Manning, who's a big prospect for them. He's not going to start in the rotation, but will probably weasel his way in there. Forgot Daniel Norris was still on their team, honestly. Bullpen's a mess, but even when the Tigers were competitive, their bullpen was a mess, so this really isn't anything new. But yeah, so the big thing for the Tigers is going to be their rotation, whether or not AJ Hinch can communicate to the young guys, the young guns there, and really, get them going in their MLB careers. So, for their best pitcher, I'm going to go with Spencer Turnbull. That's a personal pick for me. He's the most proven of the guys there, although I know Casey Mize definitely has the biggest upside. Mize is still a little young. I don't want to, get him rushed in and, burn out that arm. So I hope they're careful with him. And because I think they will be, I think they're going to, lean on Turnbull a little bit more. And he'll end up being probably their most effective pitcher if I had to guess. Daniel Norris always wins the reliever of the year? Interesting. I don't know about that. I missed Daniel saying, I'm going to head out. See you, bud. Let's see. Torkelson for hitter? I don't know if Torkelson made the OD roster. Tigers fans, you would know better than me. I'm kind of thinking Heimer Candelario, honestly. I'm a little bit more high on him. Although I do like Willie Castro. Willie Castro looked really good in 2020. I didn't watch a ton of Tigers baseball, I won't lie. A lot of these F-tier teams I know less about than the more competitive teams. That's just how it is. So I'm going to go with Heimer Candelario. Yeah, he had a brief stints of greatness, then kind of had the down in 2019. But Torkelson, when he gets called up, is going to be the guy. And he's, supposed to be the guy. So, sip his drink. Kellis, what'd you think of that? Was that good? Did you like that? Also, let's get Nolan Arenado up there. Oh, I didn't even realize Bauer wasn't on the stream overlay. That's my bad. I think it's because I put it in the trash. Oops. That's all right. We didn't really want to see it anyway. It's okay. There's Nolan. Let's pull him up. Let's do him like that. That looks good. All right. Nolan Arenado is on the stream overlay. Nice. TASMR. Yeah, Dr. Phil got the cut. Yes, sir. I'm going to talk about the Red Sox in a little bit once we get to their rank. Do you think D. Gordon and King Phillips will find new teams? D. Gordon, yes. King Phillips, probably not, man. His fastball was 86 miles per hour. I think it's GG. Makes me sad, but I think it's GG. Okay, that'll do it for the F tier. We're now on to the D tier, the next echelon of MLB teams. I got 5 here. I got the Red Sox, the Mariners, who I think could even weasel their way into C tier, if I'm being totally honest. The Arizona Diamondbacks, Cincinnati Reds, and Kansas City Royals. This one's not hard for me. At the bottom of the D tier is going to be the Cincinnati Reds. Probably the most frustrating team in MLB, I think, just in terms of what their front office does. If you didn't see it recently, I put up a tweet. You should go follow me on Twitter, Jolly_Olive on Twitter. The Reds traded away Raisel Iglesias to the Angels for Noah Ramirez. Noah Ramirez pitched for them in spring. Then they released him without him pitching a regular season game, and then the Angels picked him back up. So they basically gave away Raisel Iglesias for nothing, and then the team that they traded with got their player back. So that move, I feel like, encapsulates what the Reds have been doing this past offseason. They were the 7th seed in the playoffs. They had a dominant rotation that I'm sure any team feared, and then they kind of just took a dump in their 2-game wildcard series. They didn't put up any runs, but I still believe this lineup, is capable of performing well, but the Reds just decided to tear parts of it down. Very integral parts, I might add. Tucker Barnhart is great behind the dish. He's a big reason why those pitchers are so successful. Joey Votto's Joey Votto. He's been doing it forever. Jonathan India, big prospect for them. He's coming up this year. They have Eugenio Suarez as their shortstop, which I don't know about all that. This is news to me. I also want to believe the M's are better than D tier. We'll get to them in a second. Mike Moustakas back at his normal position at third. That's good to see. Jesse Winker, Nick Senzel. Nick Senzel's got to put it together this season, man. He's running out of time. He's running out of opportunities. They got Akiyama. Didn't really get a fair shake last year. Hopefully he can do it over a full season. And then the boy, make it a 4-0 ball game, Nick Castellanos. The pitching. Pitching's pretty good. Big boy over there at short. Yeah, definitely so. Definitely so. Luis Castillo, great. Sonny Gray, great. Tyler Mahle is probably due to live up a little bit more to his potential. So they got a solid 1 through 3, man. Wade Miley is okay at your number 4. Michael Lorenzen. This is honestly not a bad rotation by any means, but this bullpen's thin. You got Amir Garrett, who dominated in spring training, but spring training, so take it with a grain of salt. Lucas Sims, okay. Sean Doolittle, kind of a good signing, but he's definitely going to get flipped, I think. And then that's kind of it. It kind of falls off after that. Former Rocky, Jeff Hoffman. Nothing else really cooking here. Remember Brandon Finnegan? That's a name I haven't heard in a little bit. So yeah, the Reds don't do much for me at all. I just accidentally switched to a different page, so I'm just going to go back here. I think they're totally fine at 25th. Maybe I'd even put them lower, but I'm feeling a little bit gracious. The Reds make me mad, so that's why they're so low. Votto's starting to slow down. He's getting old, man. He could have used that DH this year. Moose will do well. Yeah, maybe. Reds are going to Reds. I think that's a good way of describing it. Best hitter for the Reds? That's an interesting question. If Eugenio Suarez is playing short, it's not going to be him, because how can he be... Well, how can he be good when he's playing such out of position? Oh, let's see what Touchdown said. Do you think it'll be shorter or longer than 94? There's definitely going to be a strike next season, which sucks. So I hope this season's awesome. I'm hoping shorter, because I think this season the MLB is going to do really well. I think the MLB is more popular than it has been in like the past 10 years. Adiv, or Adiv? I'm not sure how to pronounce that, but thank you for coming to the very brief Twitch stream before. Okay, best pitcher is going to be Luis Castillo. You could argue maybe Amir Garrett here. Possibly. But I think, Castillo, he's the big piece. He might get flipped. He might not. It remains to be seen how the Reds perform, but I'm not a Reds believer by any means. Yeah, Reds just frustrated, because I was super rooting for them, man. I was super rooting for them, and then they just tore it all down. This Central is wide open, and they just kind of tore it down. It made me sad. Can't wait for the opening day recap. Yeah, it's going to be after I work an 8-hour shift, so I'm going to be a little sleepy, but I'm looking forward to it, man. I was like, there's no way I can't stream on opening day. Sonny Gray is also a good pick. Just finished my tea, so you don't got to worry about the gulping thing anymore. That's good. Reds are going to choke. I mean, the expectations are low, so I don't know if you can call it choke. Okay. And then best hitter. You know what? I'm going to go ahead and say, I think because he's going to be playing in his normal position again, he was playing second for the past couple seasons, which was weird. I'm going to say Mike Moustakas, I call him Stakas, Mike Moustakas, will have a good season just because he's not really a trade candidate, and his teammates are probably going to be. And he's back in his normal position. Followed me on Twitch. Thanks, Pepito. So yeah, I mean, there's a couple good picks there. I don't think it's going to be Eugenio Suarez. He looked bad last season. Maybe Jesse Winker. Maybe Nick Senzel finally puts it together. But I think Moose is definitely the easiest pick here. Moose. Okay. Let's see. And, 104 people watching. You're crazy. Do they have Derek Batflip Dietrich? No, he just re-signed with the Yankees. He's going to go to their alternate site, so that's kind of fun. Hopefully he gets the call there. Coming in at 24th for me. Coming in at 24th. Bye, Club Skills. Hope you had a good time. Let's say the Kansas City Royals. Now, okay, I was a big advocate for the Royals offseason. I thought they made a lot of great moves to get their fans reinvested in the franchise that has been pretty much down and out since they won the World Series. What's going on, JT? Nice to see you, man. But But the thing is, the Royals, I think they know deep down that they're not going to be competitive this year, but the front office is doing this right because they're getting the fans reinvested in the franchise. You could argue to put them higher because this team honestly has a ton of potential. They're trying to lock down Salvador Perez, or I think they already got it done. I'm not sure. Carlos Santana was a good pickup. Nicky Lopez, he got demoted, so it's going to be Whit Merrifield at second base. They have a solid infield, a really good infield, and they have some promising pieces in their rotation as well. Benintendi, definitely a question mark. You got to see if he bounces back and plays like his normal self. Oh, Brett, I'm sorry, man. I like the name Olive Boy. That's a pretty good one. But the reason why I feel bad for putting the Royals so low is because they did what front offices should do and, invest their fans in the season. Make your donation logo Sandy Leone the GOAT. That's a good one. Very nice. Thank you, Kellis Talks, for the 5. Let's get that up. What's going on, Mac? How's it going, man? Don't worry. I saw you. I caught it. Rangers are going to go 82-80? You're out of your mind, Shipley. You're out of your mind. That's crazy. Oh, this is him in a Marlins uniform. What about him? You wanted him Bo Sox, right? So let's do this. The Royals farm, I'm not going to lie. I don't know it that well. And I feel like the ones I do know well are usually the higher up ones. I'd argue that they're probably in the top half, right? I mean, they were dealing prospects. They dealt Khalil Lee to the Mets. That I know for sure. Sandy Leone, there you go. Oh, there's Ronald Acuna Jr. Royals are definitely on the upswing. And the upside of them for this season sort of hinges on their rotation, which has a ton of potential. They got Mike Minor to sort of lead the helm. Brad Keller had an awesome last year. Danny Duffy's been reliable for them forever. Brady Singer is their big young gun that they're hoping takes the next step this year. And then they got options at the bottom. Irvin Santana, which is a name I didn't think I'd be seeing. Jacob Jones. They got some options there. The bullpen, I'm really looking out for this guy here, Josh Stalmont, to take a big leap and possibly be their closer. Scott Barlow's okay. They got Greg Holland and Wade Davis back in here to sort of lead the young guys. Jesse Hahn was really good in 2020. The Royals have some pieces, man. They can be sneaky, possibly play spoiler at the end for some Central team. So I'm very excited to see how their team does in 2021. Let's see. So best hitter and best pitcher for the Royals is an interesting one for sure. I think the easy pick is probably Whit Merrifield. Maybe a fun pick is Hunter Dozier to bounce back. What about their outfield? What do they got cooking in the outfield? Michael A. Taylor, don't really get that. Jorge Soler, might have to go with Jorge Soler. I think so. Yeah, I think I'm going to go with Jorge Soler at the DH. Dude hits bombs. And he's a lock to do that as long as he's not injured. So I'm going to put him at my best hitter spot. And then pitcher, it's tough because Brady Singer has a ton of potential, and he's definitely going to be a guy to watch in the future. I don't know if he's quite there yet. The competition isn't going to be fierce for him, so it's going to be nice for him to get his feet in the water during the 2021 season. I'm going to go ahead and pick the guy that I drafted on my fantasy team, which is Brad Keller. I think he's going to build off what he did in 2020. The Baseball Savant page does not love him because he doesn't throw fast and he doesn't strike out a lot of guys, but he's very crafty, has a decent pitches, knows how to get ground balls. So he was very efficient for them last year. I didn't see anything to suggest he'll take a step back. And then once the Royals start getting up guys like Bobby Witt Jr. and once Nicky Lopez starts playing to his potential, and then all the other prospects that they got going on, watch out for the Royals to take the next step in the AL Central. So this is the part of the detail where the teams start getting a little bit exciting, in my opinion. Coming in at 23 is the Boston Red Sox. I know I have some Red Sox fans in here, so I'm sorry if I'm sleeping on the team a little bit, but I don't feel comfortable putting them any higher. I think that they are a little bit worse than the Diamondbacks and Mariners, just on account of the Mariners' rotation and the fact that the Diamondbacks definitely underperformed last year. Is there background voices? I'm not supposed to play that, so let's go to the next song. Yes, sir. Okay. All right, cool. Sorry, bro. Didn't mean to scare you, Micah. My bad. Rangers got some things cooking, though. I didn't mean Rangers. I meant Red Sox. And straight away, Bobby Dahlbeck's going to be the hitter of the year. Dude was hitting nukes during spring. Looked real good. Real good for this team. I'm excited about him. He's I don't even know if you can call it a dark horse rookie of the year pick anymore because so many people are on to Bobby Dahlbeck now. But he looks really good. If he can just play in okay first base, he's gonna be a lock for probably 500 plate appearances for them, which is awesome. Christian Arroyo's back. I guess he must have had an okay spring because he's up here on the depth chart ahead of Kike and Marwin. I guess they got Kike and Marwin on the bench. You got Xander, you got Devers, and those are obviously good picks to be the best offensive player of the year. But I want to be fun, so I'm going with Bobby. I'm going with Bobby Dahlbeck, all right? Because it's also a really fun name to say. Bobby Dahlbeck. You know what I mean? Franchy Cordero is the guy they got in the Benintendi trade. It's still confusing to me, but, hopefully he proves me wrong. Verdugo is also a really good pick to take the next step this year. So the Red Sox definitely have some pieces in their lineup. I think the Hunter Renfroe trade was fine because he's good in right field, but man, his bat is frustrating. No, Chester. Owned. And then JD, hopefully he bounces back. He had a pretty dreadful 2020. But the Red Sox in general were just kind of out of it last year. And then their rotation, always a concern. They got some things going on. I made a video on Tanner Howick, however you say his name. I think he's going to be good this year. He might even be my pick for their pitcher of the year. They got old reliable and Eddie Rodriguez, Martin Perez they brought back, Nathan Eovaldi. Nick Pivetta was a nice pickup. I like Garrett Richards. I was advocating for teams to sign him. The Boston Red Sox went and got him, so that was a good trade. Kyle Bloom knows what he's doing, I will say. He's taking it slow, which is the right move because the AL East is pretty darn competitive right now. So I think the Red Sox are waiting to pick their window for a better time, which is honestly smart because I don't think there's any sense in shoving right now, especially when their farm system is as thin as it is. Bullpen's pretty thin. They got Ottavino, which is a big move for them. Matt Barnes, obviously at the helm. He might be a trade piece. That remains to be seen. And then it's kind of thin after that. So I don't love the Red Sox pitching. Not really a surprise there. Let's see what chat's saying. New York prospect. I didn't see. I know they got Josh Winkowski, I think, who the Mets got for the match trade, and then flipped to get Khalil Lee. But Winkowski looked pretty good. He might make the club, actually. You have no Bobucks? Yeah, dude, roasted. And then, yeah, so I think for my pitcher of the year for the Red Sox, I'm going to go with Tanner Houck. I made the whole video on him. I really dissected his arsenal and what he's got going. I think he's going to take the next step for them. I think Chris Sale's probably going to be out with injury for at least half the season. Martin Perez is going to get, what you're getting from him. Eddie Rodriguez is injured too. Maybe Garrett Richards, but I think they flip Garrett Richards if he plays well. I like Tanner Houck for the full season in a Red Sox uniform. I'm talking a lot. Who's the most underrated player on the Braves? Good question. Can you count Christian Pache? I mean, he only played in the NLCS, but he's due for an amazing season. Yeah, I'm going to say Christian Pache. What's up, Nahawan? Made it to another one. Nice, man. Who do I have for March Madness? I picked Gonzaga. I also know nothing about college basketball outside of Rutgers because that's just where I go to school. Okay, so yeah, that's my number 23 team. Dr. Full, I do like you. You're absolutely correct. You've been a day oneer, so I appreciate you. Coming in right ahead of them is my guys, the Arizona Diamondbacks. They underperformed last season for sure. The ceiling for them, I think, is decently high at third place in the NL West. I think they can maybe breach 500 if things go right, just because I love the top of their pitching staff. I'm a little bit biased there. You're a Clemson fan, Micah. Oh, tough. I mean, pretty tough. Yeah, I do go to RU, Mike. About to graduate, so that's why you guys are going to get more content over the summer, because I won't have to worry about school. What an upset, yeah, really. Carson Kelly, solid behind the dish. Christian Walker has been a big bat for them for a low price. Josh Rojas, interesting. He's getting the call, so I guess Ketel's going to be playing center. Yep, Ketel will be playing center. David Peralta's been doing it there forever. Wow, apparently a lot of people are close to me. That's cool. Eduardo Escobar. I mean, the lineup's still awesome. Like, the lineup, they just underperformed last season. There's no real other way to say it than that. So they kept the team intact, which I can respect. I have Dalton Varsho on my fantasy team. It doesn't look like he's an everyday starter. Unfortunate. If you could donate, Greg Bird would be on the screen. That's a shame. I wish you could too. And then their rotation. They lost Zach Gallen for, I think it's like a month because of stupid hitting rules. It's because the pitchers have to hit, so he fractured his arm. So dumb. But Madison Bumgarner actually looked pretty good during the spring, at least his first couple outings. I don't know how he's been doing lately. And then they got some mid guys here, Merrill Kelly, Luke Weaver, Caleb Smith. Watch out for Corbin Martin. He's a prospect for them that is probably going to make the jump this year to the big leagues and maybe, turn some heads. So we'll see. They got Joakim Soria for the bullpen. He's probably a trade piece. And Chris Davinsky signed as well. Those are nice little signings for the back end of the pen there. Fun name, Kevin Ginkel. Ginkel. That's a good one. But yeah, look out for Varsho to be a utility superstar, like Josh said in chat. They got a bunch of great pieces here. The most obvious pick for best hitter is going to be Ketel Marte. It was in 2019 where he finished 4th in NL MVP voting. Insane. Definitely played above his ceiling, which was awesome to see. Multi-positions. Plays all over the field. Can run fast. Can steal bases. Hits for power. Hits for contact. Great player to watch. Best pitcher, also pretty easy, honestly. It's going to be Zach Gallen as soon as he comes back. I honestly thought the Marlins were a bit foolish to trade away Zach Gallen, but they got Jazz Chisholm. So, it's looking like it's going to be a fair split. But yeah, the Diamondbacks have a lot of depth on their offense with Varsho and Asdrubal on the bench and Josh Rojas coming up this year. It's just their bullpen that worries me in the middle of their rotation, honestly. Even if you could even argue it's the 2 through 5 of their rotation, because I don't even know if Bumgarner is going to perform. Ginkel had a really good spring. Let's go. Let's go, Ginkel. Let's go, Ginkel. It's just a fun name to say. It really is. You believe in the bounce back of Mad Bum? People forget it took Justin Verlander 2 years to get acclimated to Father Time, and then he had the best seasons of his career. So, don't be surprised if, Madison Bumgarner figures it out. He's a fantastic pitcher and, arguably the best World Series pitcher in Major League history. So, for him to just fizzle out would be very surprising to me. The Marlins haven't been named yet? That's because I'm a Marlins believer, baby. I'm an absolute Marlins believer. I believe they're going to breach 20 here. So, does a John Boy point out if I ever heard it? Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, dude, I appreciate it, Pepito. Yeah, how many viewers we got? I haven't checked. 105. We're still above 100? That's crazy, bro. That's crazy. Okay. Let's keep it on going. Last bit of the D tier is my Seattle Mariners. I really wanted for them to get in the top 20, but it didn't seem fair to put them above some of the other teams. Maybe the Cubs. Maybe. I don't know. That'd be a little unfair to the Cubs, I think. 21 is going to be the Mariners. I'm a big Mariners believer, and the reason for that is because of their rotation. I think it's dynamite. I think it's awesome. But before that, let's talk about their lineup. Tom Murphy's pretty good. Had a good 2019. Average doesn't really show it, but his WAR is really good. Evan White was negative WAR. Interesting. Good in the field, though. He should bounce back. Dylan Moore was really good for them. Good during the spring as well. J.P. Crawford has a great glove at shortstop. Kyle Seager's been doing it forever, but this is probably his last season as a Mariner. It's really the outfield that they got cooking. Jared Kelenic is getting manipulated for service time. He'll probably file a grievance since Kevin Mathers said that stuff on a live platform, which was incredibly stupid. Taylor Trammell made the opening day roster, which is awesome. Kyle Lewis is dealing with injuries right now. He's day-to-day with a knee thing. Yeah, guys, check out Josh's promo. Subscribe to Jolly Olive for more amazing videos and stream participation opportunities. I appreciate that, Josh. You're the man. Mitch Haniger finally coming back from his horrific injury to his nuts. Really glad to see him back. Hopefully he retains his production. And then a guy I drafted, Ty France. I think he's going to have a good season DHing for them. Dude's got a lot of pop. Doesn't have to worry about playing in the field, which is nice because his fielding percentage is not great. Just about average. And then the rotation is where we get to the good stuff, the real good stuff. Marco Gonzalez, Yusei Kikuchi, Justice Sheffield, James Paxton, all money in the bank, honestly. Yusei Kikuchi, he had a pretty rough 2020, but a pretty unlucky 2020. If any of you watch Foolish Bailey, and if you watch Jolly Olive, you should watch Foolish Baseball, first and foremost. He did a video on pitchers he likes for 2020. Yusei Kikuchi was one of them. He's due for a bounce back. James Paxton was a great signing by them. He had his best years in Seattle. They got options for number 5. Logan Gilbert's a good prospect for them. Chris Flexen had a great year overseas. And then Justin Dunn, who they got in the Cano trade. They're pretty good, honestly. I'm not going to lie. I don't know how much they're going to compete, but I think if they're above 500 at the deadline, don't be surprised if they make a move. A good one for you. DeGrom with the beautiful lettuce if possible. I believe that means the hair, right? And thank you for the dono, C-Town M. Second dono of the stream, I believe. So very grateful for you, sir. Fourth dono overall. We'd love to see that. Thank you, chat. Thank you, thank you. Let's pull him up. Yeah, okay. So we can do... Yeah, this is good. We'll do this one right here. Ugh, my mouth is dry. Who let me talk this much? Who gave me a platform? That's ridiculous. Big DeGrom. Oh, we gotta shrink you, bud, and you're way too big right now. Whoa. Oh, he's upside down. I don't know where he went. All right, let's try that again. I think that was the first time I messed up putting a player on. My record was clean before that. Clean and efficient. All right, let's put him there. No, he's still a little big. Like that? Yeah, we'll do him like this. Just his head. Perfect. All right, cool. Okay. Oh, I missed a bunch. My bad. I believe that means there. Yeah. He's doing better without it, so you know. Oh, DRM, you're at work? That sucks, man, but I'm glad you dropped by. Thanks for saying hey. But yeah, Seattle Mariners, they're coming in at 21 for me. Their best pitcher, in my opinion... Oh, good question. I think I'm just going to go with Marco Gonzalez. He's been the ace for them for a while. Don't see why he would take a step back this year. Best hitter for them, I'm going to go with their Rookie of the Year prospective candidate, Jared Kelenic. I believe he's playing right for them, not center, because Kyle Lewis is playing center. I think that these two, once he gets the call, he's going to rake for the Mariners. The Mariners have a huge upside, is what I'll say. But it remains to be seen whether they perform to it or not. They could be potentially a buyer at the deadline. I don't know. I don't know why I believe it, but I kind of believe it. All right, let's keep it moving along here. C tier. We got the Cleveland baseball team, not the Indians, the Los Angeles Angels, Chicago Cubs, San Francisco Giants, Miami Marlins, Philadelphia Phillies, Washington Nationals. I didn't put any of these three East teams in the B tier. I feel like that's kind of honestly fair. Some people would probably put the Marlins in D or maybe even F, but I am a huge Marlins believer. Are they better than any of the teams here, though? I'm gonna say no. I'm gonna put them at 20, and I feel like even at 20, that's surpassing expectations for some people. Ben Pope, I like my picks, honestly. So, you know, I like to go with the unusual ones. But yeah, Miami Marlins, I like them a lot, especially their lineup, which I feel like it gets a little bit unfairly slept on. We're going to check it out in 1 second once I can figure out how to, you know, navigate a computer mouse. The Brewers won't be better than the Cubs? Did a Cubs fan say that? All right. Jesus Aguilar and the Garrett Cooper platoon at first base. Hot take, this platoon at first base is going to outperform Josh Bell this season. Just saying. Jazz Chisholm, a nice, fun pick for Rookie of the Year. He won the starting job today. Miguel Rojas has been captaining for them. Brian Anderson's been awesome for them. Corey Dickerson, Starling Marte, Adam Duvall, solid outfield. This lineup 1 through 9, I don't see any huge holes. I mean, maybe defensively you can find some holes, but man, 1 through 9, they're pretty good. I'm not going to lie. I'm really not going to lie. The rotation, a bit of a perplexing move happened today because the Marlins optioned Sixto Sanchez, so he's not going to be on the opening day roster. I believe this is definitely service manipulation to get another year out of him, which makes sense. So they're starting the year with a 4-man, which is Sandy Alcantara, Pablo Lopez, Elisa Hernandez, Trevor Rogers. All of these guys, I think, are capable of putting up ERAs below 4.5, which is what they need. And then Sixto will probably be a serious Rookie of the Year contender. So rotation 1 through 5, I think, is solid, honestly. The Marlins have done a very good job on a budget. And their bullpen gets a little bit slept on, too. They took John Curtis from the American League champion Tampa Bay Rays, Adam Simber from the Cleveland baseball team, Yami Garcia from the Dodgers, Dylan Floro from the Dodgers, Anthony Bass from the Blue Jays. They sort of picked scraps from other teams and built themselves a pretty nice bullpen, honestly. You got a few options. Even Ross Detweiler, I don't hate as a lefty in that bullpen because they have Anthony Bass. So honestly, I think every part of this Marlins team isn't terrible. Like, I think all factions are serviceable, in my humble opinion. For their best hitter on the year, I'm going to go with a personal pick with a guy that I really love and with a guy that I think could possibly compete for Rookie of the Year, and that's Jazz Chisholm. It's probably not going to come true, but I want to believe it, so that's why I'm typing it into my computer, because anything you put on the internet will come true. It's true. You heard it here first. Sixto got to camp late and needs time. Okay. All right. If you say so, Mike, I'll take your word for it. Few options for Best Picture, too. All right, I see we got some jazz lovers in the chat, too. You like jazz. Very nice. Best Pitcher. I don't feel inclined to put Sixto anymore, but it still probably makes sense that it's Sixto. Tough. Yeah, I'm just going to put Sixto Sanchez. It makes the most sense. Another Rookie of the Year candidate. Dude was a stud in the playoffs last year. Really showed up for the Marlins when they needed him. Yeah, Brian Anderson probably is their best hitter, but I do just love Jazz Chisholm's upside. So I'm picking him, man. That's okay. We can disagree. That is okay. Coming in at number 19. It's between these two. Or maybe the Angels. It's one of these three. Cubs, Angels, or Giants. What do you guys think? Who's the worst of that trio? Cubs, Angels, Giants. Cubs, Angels, Giants. Curious. I know I'm on a delay, so I have to say it a few times for chat to catch up. 112 people watching? That's awesome. I'm seeing Def the Angels. I'm seeing Angels, Giants, Cubs, Angels, Giants, Cubs, Giants. A lot of Giants. Wow. I was leaning Giants, but I don't know, man. Cubs are the worst. Wow, well, thanks for the chat activity, though. Appreciate it, guys. The Angels aren't a real baseball team. Giambi, not an option, but I appreciate the participation. Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Giants just because of their starting rotation. The starting rotation, they picked up some pieces, so it definitely could have been worse. And the Giants had a very similar offseason to the Kansas City Royals, in my opinion. They're not really in a position to be competing right now. They're sort of still waiting for some guys to come up. But they did enough to get fans invested. I've always really liked how the Giants have operated their team. I think by season's end, Buster Posey's not going to be catching every day. I think it's going to be Joey Bart, so he'll probably be playing first, and then maybe they'll trade Belt or something. Someone's getting traded from the Giants, and by someone I mean a few people probably. But their lineup is sneaky good, man. There's a lot of good stuff going on here, especially on the bench, because they got Flores and Listella riding the bench currently, because Donovan Solano, Donnie Barrels, has been raking the ball ever since he got to San Francisco. Brandon Crawford, past his prime, don't really expect much from him, but he's still solid at short. Evan Longoria, still doing it at his age. And then the outfield is sneaky. Not a lot of, not big names necessarily, but Alex Dickerson was great last season and the season before. He's been rehabilitated. Mike Yastrzemski, older guy who found his calling in San Francisco. San Francisco has just been rehabilitating hitters, and I really love to see it. They fixed Donovan Solano. They fixed Alex Dickerson. They fixed Mike Yastrzemski. They're probably going to do more of that this season, so I'm looking forward to watching them bat. I'm not really looking forward to watching them pitch, though. Kevin Gausman's probably going on opening day, or maybe Johnny Cueto. And then they picked up Anthony DeSclafani, probably a trade piece. Aaron Sanchez, they're going to try and fix, probably a trade piece. Alex Wood, probably a trade piece. These are all one-year deals. The bullpen's kind of fun. They picked up Matt Whistler, who I covered in one video, and Jake McGee. They were both part of the One Pitch Wonders videos. If you haven't seen it, you should go check it out, because I talk about those guys. Sorry, I've been neglecting chat for a little bit. What's going on, MH? How's it going? Cubs have a sneaky good lineup? Yeah, we'll talk about it. Yeah, in the bullpen, Harlan Garcia, not bad. Nick Tropiano, not bad. They have some pieces here cooking. Dominic Leone, not bad. Tyler Rogers is their big piece. He's their closer guy. He probably won't be flipped. But yeah, so the Giants can hit. They can't really pitch, and that's why they get put down here at number 19. Not too much to write on about. I find them very similar to the Royals, and I find it interesting that those teams met in the World Series 6 years ago. Because they're doing enough to get their fan bases invested, which I can respect out of any front office. So I will be rooting for the Giants. I don't want to imply that my number 19 ranking of them implies that I don't like them. For their best hitter, over a full season, it's probably Mike Yastrzemski, but I really don't want to spell his name. I really just don't want to do it. I'm being completely honest with you guys. All right, let's do it. It would be wrong of me. I'd be lying to myself if I said it wasn't him. Yastrzemski. There we go. I might have just put Mike Yaz, but I spelled it. You like the dedication. Okay. He's their best hitter for the year. I drafted him. He's one of my outfielders on my team this year. The WAR draft, who was 29 and 30, that would be the Pittsburgh Pirates and Texas Rangers. Sorry, I will scroll up a little bit so you guys can see all the rankings so far. Their best pitcher, I'm not going to go with a rotation guy because, one, I think the rotation guys are probably going to get flipped, and two, I just don't think any of them are particularly great. I think I'm going to go with someone from the bullpen, someone that I covered, and it's going to be Matt Whistler. Matt Whistler has one of the nastiest sliders in the game. If you haven't seen him pitch, you should go watch some highlights. They're very fun. He leans on it more than any of his other pitches, but he did that the most last season, which was his best season. So I think he's really found his calling in a bullpen role, and I think he's going to be a solid trade piece for them headed into the deadline. Then they can snag a pretty good prospect for him because I think he could close for some teams, honestly. But that remains to be seen for this year. He's my pick to be their best pitcher. Okay. Moving on in the C tier, it's going to be one of the Cubs or the Angels, and I am going to pick... Have the Angels converted me? Do I believe in the Angels a little bit more now? The Cubs rotation is just so bad, man. I know I can't rank these rotation teams higher. I really just can't do it. I can't have peace of mind. The Cubs are going to be 18th for me. And don't get me wrong. Do not get me wrong. Oh, has the music looped? No, it's just laxing. Okay, cool. Okay, let's check out the Cubs real quick. Who's the most underrated pitcher for the Braves? Pitcher? Maybe one of their bullpen guys? That's a good question. I don't know. I don't know much about the Braves, honestly. I mean, I do, because they're in my division, but I don't know them back to front like I know the Mets. Hey, Rispa, thanks for subscribing, man. I'm glad you liked the content. Glad I could help. I wouldn't call Max Fried underrated. He got a lot of press last season. Cubs lineup, we know the deal. 136 viewers? Why? I mean, I'm thankful, and I'm glad you guys have tuned into the stream, but like, dang. That's cool. We know the deal with the Cubs lineup. It's good. It's good. And they didn't play up to their potential last year. I think a big reason why, which was discussed on a few podcasts, is that the Cubs had no fans in the stands last season. And, you know, Wrigley feeds off that energy. So with Cubs fans back at the stadium this year, and you could say this for a lot of teams, but I think it especially applies to the Cubs, I think that their hitters are going to play a little bit better. Javi Baez is a better player than what we've seen. Chris Bryant was definitely a better player than what he was in 2020. They demoted Nico Horner. So I guess it's David Bodie at second base, or maybe Eric Sogard. And then Jochen left, which was, I guess they just replaced Kyle Schwarber with Kyle Schwarber. So, like, you know, not a bad move. Ian Happ in center, that dude's been doing it. And then Jason Hayward in right. So we know the deal with the Cubs lineup, it's good. Then you get to the rotation, and after Kyle Hendricks, and after Zach, let's be fair, Zach Davies, he was a long forgotten piece of the Yu Darvish trade, but honestly, a pretty big one for the Cubs if they're looking to take the Central, which I don't truly believe that they are. But he's a solid number 2 to have behind Kyle Hendricks. It's just the depth after that really falls off a cliff, man. They re-signed Jake Arrieta, but he's been awful in Philly. Trevor Williams, I thought, was a sneaky pickup for them. He could be good. I think he'll outperform Jake Arrieta. And then Alzolay, I believe, is a prospect for them who was in the bullpen before. He's getting another crack at the rotation. Alec Mills threw the no-hitter. He could possibly be good. I know he's another soft thrower like Hendricks is. I really love watching Hendricks pitch. He got a diamond when I did my position comparisons. But the Cubs rotation, man, very thin. And as if it couldn't get worse, their bullpen is probably thinner. Craig Kimbrell has not been the same for a while. Brendan Workman's probably going to be the guy back there. They have Ryan Tepera, who got an MVP vote. Very strange. Zach Davies was good for the Padres. Yeah, I agree, man. Andrew Chafin, good pickup. Left-hander for the Diamondbacks. He was there for a while. Dan Winkler's okay. Rex Brothers made the team. He's okay. It's just the pitching, man. The Cubs pitching is going to be pretty bad this season. Outside of Kyle Hendricks and Zach Davies, I'm going to pick Kyle Hendricks for my guy, just because that just makes the most sense. I believe he's the most talented pitcher there. For their best hitter, good cue. Who do you guys pick for the Cubs' best hitter, by the way? I'm kind of curious. I don't really have an obvious answer. Also, what am I looking for? Where's my chapstick? Can't find it. Cubs' best hitter, though. I don't think it's going to be Jock Peterson. For sure. He'll hit some dingers, though. He'll definitely hit some dingers. Baez, Happ. I kind of like Ian Happ. I kind of like that pick. That's kind of fun. Happ or KB, Rizzo, KB, Schwarber 2.0. So that means Jock. I don't know. What are we thinking? Where are we dropping, boys? and ladies, my apologies, and individuals. All are welcome. I'm going to go with Ian Happ. I like the pick. I think his best season is probably still ahead of him. Jock has been raking, but spring training does not matter. And, if Jock rakes, it's going to be a 250 batting average, in my opinion. So I'm not, batting average doesn't matter, but, I like Ian Happ a little bit more. I think he's a little bit more well-rounded, younger, a little bit more agile on the field. He's going to be my pick for their best offensive player. Okay. So that leaves two Eastern teams here, Philadelphia Phillies and Washington Nationals. Now, in my NL East comparisons, I put the Marlins at third place in the NL East. And I'm sticking to my guns there because I want to see it happen. And I think if everything goes right for them, it will. But in actuality, when we do an MLB power ranking, I have to be honest that, on paper, the Phillies and Nationals are better teams. And most people would have them listed above in the standings anyway. But in terms of which one is better than the other, this is a very tough question for me. I put the Nationals at last and I put the Phillies at fourth. And I think, honestly, I'm going to stick to my guns there. Now, I talked a lot about the Washington Nationals in my preseason content. And my biggest gripe with them every time has been the amount of ifs in their lineup. And I know, we could say this for a lot of teams. Oh, did I not do the Angels yet? Oh, I forgot about the Angels and the Cleveland baseball team. Excuse me. Hang on. Sorry. I thought for some reason we had done those two teams. Thank you for reminding me, guys. Thank you. Okay. Well, that changes things, actually. That does change things. Because how high up is Cleveland? High up is... Los Angeles is next, then, in my opinion. Because these were the three teams we were comparing before. So, Angels are going to be 17th. Okay. The Angels have the opportunity to be good, or they had the opportunity to be good, and then they didn't sign Trevor Bauer. Now, I know, you can't control some things. You really can't control whether a player wants to play for you or not. But the Angels had some must-gets this offseason, and I don't think they got any of them. To pause briefly, look at how hilarious this name is. Anthony Bemboom. Bum-boom. Bum-bum-bum-bum. That's pretty funny. Max Stassi, apparently he's a big upside candidate at catcher this year, so look out for him. Jared Walsh, younger guy, he's going to do it this year. David Fletcher, their lineup is really good. Jose Iglesias, Anthony Rendon. They have three prospective MVP candidates in their lineup in Rendon, in Trout, in Shohei Ohtani. Don't love their corner outfield at all, really, with Dexter Fowler and Justin Upton, but I like everything else that's going on. What's going on, Blitzball League? Gainesville, how's it going, man? Nice to see you. Sax Massey, that's a pretty good one. And then we get to the pitching. So frustrating. And it must be even more frustrating for Angels fans. You have Dylan Bundy at the top. We don't know if he's going to be the same Dylan Bundy we saw last season, although that Dylan Bundy was pretty good. 9th in Cy Young voting. Andrew Heaney, I'm officially filing in. You know what you're going to get from him. He's been the same pretty much ever since he went there. The Dodgers, I originally thought were pretty stupid for flipping him immediately when they got him, but it looked to be the right move. Angels fans deserve better, is what I'll say. Quintana and Cobb are good pickups to fill out the 1 through 5. And, if Ohtani's healthy and pitching, the dude is got some nasty stuff. But he won't be going every 5 days. So that means Griffin Canning will get some nods. He's looked okay, though. So what we're looking at is 5... We're looking at 4 okay options, 1 great option that can't go that often, and then 1 potentially great option. So the Angels bullpen is very mid, in my opinion. But not bullpen, rotation. Their bullpen, I believe, is a bit of a step up, honestly. They optioned Tyler Buttrey, which I found interesting, because he's been pretty reliable for them. But they have Raisel Iglesias. They got back Noel Ramirez. I mentioned that before when we were talking about the Reds, because the Reds front office is just a bunch of monkeys pressing on typewriters, not really doing anything. Mike Myers is good. Felix Pena is good. Alex Claudia will pitch in so many games for you. So they have some solid options in the bullpen and in the rotation, but they don't have the it guy. They really don't have the it guy, and the it guy would have been Trevor Bauer for them. The AL West is competitive, but it would have been winnable in my opinion. At worst, I think the Angels possibly placed below the Mariners because of how good their rotation is. And at best, the Angels could win the AL West. It's just Ohtani has to stay healthy. Everyone has to stay healthy. Justin Upton needs to bounce back. A lot of things need to go right. So with all that being said, I wonder who their best position player is. It's probably like Justin Upton, maybe. Maybe it's like Jared Walsh. Maybe it's like Dexter Fowler? Dexter Fowler. Should I put in Dexter Fowler? I'm just gonna, yeah. I don't think I'm missing anyone, right? The Mike Trout guy? Is he good? I don't watch much baseball, so I don't really know. Is he good? You guys don't seem to care. All right, that's cool. I'm putting in Mike Trout for their best position player, so there you go. Oh, there you go. I guess it's just on a delay. No, obviously it's Mike Trout. We all know. Or it could be Anthony Rendon, but it's Mike Trout. So he gets left off there. Black jerseys are back. That's dope. I believe somebody told me that before, so that's awesome. Good to see that. Good to see that. And then best pitcher. He's not going to pitch every fifth day. Maybe it's Dylan Bundy. No, I'm going to put Shohei. Shohei has looked super, super good on the mound. Genuinely scary to face on the mound. So I hope that he stays healthy and can pitch, maybe like 20 starts, because that would be a huge boost for the Angels. Because if you get 20 starts out of Ohtani, you get another Dylan Bundy solid season. The bottom half can stay somewhat effective at a 4 ERA average. Then maybe you compete, because your lineup's already there. So I don't know. The Angels have an outside shot, but they could have done so much more to get it done. Jarrett Walsh has also pitched in the majors. I forgot about that. Thank you, Pepito. Okay, that brings us to Cleveland, Philadelphia, and Washington to round out the C tier. Then we're getting into the nitty-gritty. So, are the Phillies and Nationals both better than Cleveland? I'm going to say yes. I'm going to say that they are both better than Cleveland. Cleveland is just outside the top half of the MLB teams for me, and that is mostly because of their lineup, which we are going to take a look at now. And they are still labeled as the... Nope, they're Cleveland. Nice. Cool. I don't know who to believe. Chester and Pepito are disagreeing. They have more than one hitter. That's true. So let's see. Very disappointing to see Jake Bauers get the first baseman job. No hate, but Bobby Bradley had an awesome spring. Roberto Perez, solid behind the dish. Cesar Hernandez, he's pretty good. Andres Jimenez is going to be a stud for them. Dude raked during spring. Jose Ramirez, MVP candidate. Eddie Rosario, nice pickup from a division rival. A very slept-on move for only $6 million. Could be traded, possibly, too. They're going with Ahmed Rosario in center. Very surprising. I thought Ben Gamel would probably just get the job because he can play the position. Ahmed Rosario made like 4 errors in 1 inning during one spring game, so I'm interested to see how that goes. I'm hoping it goes well. Connor, I'll show you the results in just 1 second. And then Josh Naylor. So they kind of need Josh Naylor to sort of finally produce. He's been a negative WAR player. And then Franmil Reyes. He's going to slug for them in the DH spot. So they got some pieces. They got some things going in the lineup. The big thing is their big 3 in their rotation. I guess you could call it big 4, honestly, if you put Savali in there. Shane Bieber won the Cy Young. We all know how good he is. Zach Plesac, bit of a head case. Hopefully he can, just straighten himself out and, pitch the damn ball this season because he'll be really good. Tristan McKenzie looked awesome for them in spades last year. He's still very young, still figuring some things out, so he's only going to get better, in my opinion. And then they have Savali coming in at the 4, in my opinion. You probably know what you're getting with him, probably like around a mid to low 4 ERA guy. And then the last spot's kind of up for grabs. They have Cal Quantrill here, who I thought was a bullpen guy. I don't really know who's taking the 5th spot for them. It's going to be interesting. But McKenzie's definitely slept on. I agree, Andrew. Let's see. Bullpen, they got James Karinchak. He's taking the next step, whether he likes it or not. He's going to be their closer. Nick Whitgren, solid behind him, and then it gets kind of thin after that. They brought Brian Shaw back. That's kind of fun. Oliver Perez, they brought him back. Cal Quantrill, they got him from the Padres. There are some options here. I'm not crazy about the bullpen. I'm not crazy about Ahmed Rosario in center field. Josh Naylor needs to perform. Franmil Reyes needs to perform. They need guys to do the thing if they're going to compete. I still believe the Central is a 2-team race between the White Sox and the Twins, but if any team's going to have an outside shot, it's probably going to be Cleveland, not Kansas City. Old friend Ali Perez. I wouldn't call him a friend. I don't know the guy. I hope he has a good season, but man, not good in a Mets uniform. Best hitter for them, Jose Ramirez. I mean, come on. Come on, guys. Who are we kidding? Best pitcher for them, Shane Bieber. I wish I could be a little bit more creative here. You could argue Tristan McKenzie usurps Bieber, but I think that's still a couple seasons down the line. But yeah, I think it's going to be the Bieber-McKenzie show for the foreseeable future. But that remains to be seen, obviously. But yeah, I think Cleveland right outside the top half could be interesting. Don't sleep on KZ Mize and company. I think the Tigers are still a couple years away, man. But they're in the right direction. How's my longtime friend Jolly Olive doing, Omar? Oh yeah, I'm Omar, I forgot. He's doing well. He caught today, so he's a little banged up. Yeah, Anthony Goes made the transition to pitcher, so he's in the bullpen for Cleveland. Gonna be interesting. All right, now comes the fateful time to put the Phillies and Nationals on the board. I'm putting the Nationals below the Phillies. I was going to dive into this before I realized that I had left off 2 other teams, but now we are in the top half of the league. Giraffe Neck Ollie confirmed. I don't know, man. Well, no, Mark put the Nationals at 9th, is what someone told me. So that's crazy to me. You could put them in the maybe near 10. But in the top 10 teams in the MLB, no. You guys this is like commonly something people get very mad at me for. I'm not a Nationals believer this season. I really just, I don't get it. I know they won the ring in 2019. I'm not Mark's editor. But listen, I would be lying if I said that they have some good things going. I don't love Starlin Castro playing a middle infield position at his age. Josh Bell, if he bounces back, is going to be crazy. He looked good in spring, so that remains to be seen. Trey Turner's Trey Turner. Carter Kieboom lost the third baseman's job, but because Castro's injured, he's hamstring day to day. So they have Josh Harrison and Hernan Perez, I guess, going on opening day. Maybe Jordy Mercer. So Nationals fans, tell me if I'm wrong there, but that's what it looks like. Kyle Schwarber in left, his defense is dreadful, but his home runs are awesome, so good slugging percentage, obviously. Juan Soto in right, pretty good. I don't know if you guys have heard of Juan Soto. He's a pretty good player. Gerardo Parra made the opening day roster, very interesting. Then Victor Robles in center, he kind of beefed up last season. His numbers in the field fell off. Hopefully he turns things around. His bat was getting a little bit better, though, which is good. And then the starting rotation, which we all know is awesome. Corbin, Scherzer, Strasburg, but we have to worry about injuries because these guys are getting, Strasburg's not old, Corbin's not old, yeah, but Scherzer's 36. Strasburg already had an injury scare early in spring, and then Corbin had a pretty down 2020, but for all we know, all 3 of these guys could turn in top 10 Cy Young seasons because that's just, what the Nationals invested in. They have John Lester at the 4 and Joe Ross at the 5. I think Eric Fetty probably gets the spot over Joe Ross at some point, and I'm not a huge John Lester believer, especially with his current age. So the Nationals are going to be riding these 3 arms again if they want to compete and win a ring again, which I'm not ruling out. Like if everything goes right, because you remember in May 1st of the 2019 season, the Nationals were a 0.1% chance to win the World Series, and then they did it. So it can happen. I'm not saying it's not going to happen. But now I just feel like it's so much less likely because these guys are a little bit more injured. They got leaned on so heavily in that 2019 season and then didn't really pitch in 2020. So it's going to be a weird season for these 3 guys. Their bullpen, pretty good. Hey, Baseball News, how's it going? Brad Hand, they signed. That was a big signing for them. I was hoping the Mets would get Hand, but he goes to the Nats to be their closer. Tanner Rainey has looked really, really good. He's probably the closer of the future if I had to pick. Daniel Hudson they brought back. Luis Avilan they brought up. He's a lefty. Will Harris from the Astros. A couple good options here. Don't hate the bullpen by any means. Javi Guerra, Wander Suero. Good pieces there. It's just when we go back to this lineup, I don't love the Gomes Avila platoon. They're good at defense. They're not good at hitting necessarily. Josh Bell, if we see the Josh Bell that we saw in the first 2 months of 2019, then, all systems go. The Nationals are going to be great because they have Bell, Turner, and then Soto, not to mention their other guys. But if Josh Bell performs like he's been doing every other month of his career, excluding those 2 months, then you have a hole at first base that probably Ryan Zimmerman will fill again. But he's injured right now? I'm not sure. Starlin Castro battling the hamstring injury. I don't know what he's got left in the tank. Trey Turner is going to be great. Third base is a hole right now. Kyle Schwarber is probably going to bat 220. It's just a lot of what ifs. Kyle Schwarber could have a good season. Josh Bell could have a good season. Victor Robles could finally figure it out. But I don't believe in the Nationals lineup outside of their big 2 guys. One of them being Juan Soto, who will obviously be their best hitter this year. Best pitcher, I'm just going to go with the safe pick, and I'm going to pick Max Scherzer. But yeah, the Nationals, like many of the teams in the C tier, are an upside team. And right now, I don't necessarily buy into their upside 100%. I could be eating my words probably a month from now, for all I know. But in my opinion, I just don't have them in the same... well, they're in the same echelon as the Phillies, but I don't have them better than the Phillies, which is weird to think because I usually sleep on the Phillies pretty aggressively. But I like their team better than I like the Nationals this year. You can argue for the three-headed monster that the Nationals have, but I just like the Phillies top to bottom a little bit more. Yeah, James, we had talked about that before, but thank you for filling me in. I thought it was a service time thing. Apparently it's not. Okay. Oh, we got a dono. Finally. There we go. Andrew Bayrind. Hopefully I'm saying that right. Hi, Jolly. Would you agree with the Mariners being dark horse wildcard contenders? I would. I absolutely would, and it's going to come off the back of that rotation that they have. That very good rotation. Background talking again. Oh, it's because this ran out. It's playing a podcast now. Oops. Okay, that's weird. Well, thank you for telling me. No. Go back. Let's pause this. I need to get my playlist. There we go. Computer, please load. Okay. There we go. Playing music from my friend who makes some lo-fi beats, sedated beats. If you like the beats, go check him out. There's a link in the bio. But yeah, Mariners are a dark horse wildcard contender if their pitching rotation stays intact and performs, and they pick up a piece at the deadline for their lineup. Hopefully Trevor Story. Thank you for the donation, Andrew. Andrew, we have a thing on this channel, I don't know if you've been in a stream before, where if you donate $5 or more, you can pick a player to put on the stream overlay as long as they have a PNG file I can find on Google. So if that's something you want, just let me know. You can send it in chat and I'll put it up for you. Okay, Phillies top to bottom, I believe, is a little bit more well-rounded than that of the Washington Nationals. There's just less misses in their lineup, in my opinion. JT Realmuto, one of the best catchers in baseball, top 2. Rhys Hoskins bounced back last year. He looked good. Gene Segura at second, solid. Didi Gregorius, solid. Alec Bohm is going to be a stud for them. Andrew McCutchen in left. Hopefully he plays over 100 games. He played the full season last year, but that's because it was a 60-game season, so that remains to be seen if he stays healthy. Right field's Bryce Harper, MVP candidate. And then center field is the only huge hole that they have. They want so bad for Scott Kingery to finally step up and be the guy for them, the reason why they gave him that extension. But he had an awful spring. He got demoted, so it's going to be between Adam Hazley and Roman Quinn. You'll probably see Hazley a little bit more than you see Quinn. Quinn's mostly a speed guy for them. But their lineup is solid outside of that. I hope they don't start this piece of shit, Odubel Herrera. If they do, I'm going to be rooting against the Phillies, so hopefully they don't do that and they just release him. And then we got the starting rotation for the Phillies. Very top-heavy, sort of like the Nationals. They have sort of the big three going here, not quite on the same echelon, but Aaron Nola is going to be awesome. Zach Wheeler's probably going to build off that great 2020. And then Zach Eflin, who took a pretty good step forward and has been consistently good for them over the past couple of seasons. And then 4 and 5 is, I don't know. 4 and 5 is kind of uneasy for me. Spencer Howard could take a step up. He's a top prospect for them, so he could be a very solid number 4. And if that goes well, you really just need one of Matt Moore, Chase Anderson, and Vince Velasquez to go right and give you like a 4.5 ERA. Odubel got demoted today. Good stuff. Good stuff, Phillies. All right, I can still root for you a little bit. So yeah, if Spencer Howard comes up and he's exactly what they think he'll be, then the Phillies are in much better shape. And then they finally took the time to fix this bullpen. I mean, at least a little bit. It's still not in great shape. It had some rough goes in spring. What's going on, Robbie? Nice to see you, man. But they got Jose Alvarado, which I think any team could have, and they would have improved their team for. So I'm confused why no teams were after him. Archie Bradley, solid pickup for the pen. Hector Neris, when he doesn't close, is actually a pretty solid relief pitcher. I think Neris just struggles in the 9th inning. Brennan Kinsler was awesome for the Marlins. They got him, Connor Brogdon, David Hale. They got options, Sam Coonrod. Neftali Feliz, that's a name I haven't seen in a minute. Wow. So the bullpen definitely got better. I still wouldn't call it good, but it's definitely better than what it was. Definitely not an absolute shamble, a 7 ERA bullpen. Now I believe they're going to hover more in the 4.5, maybe even 4 range, which is what they needed. They lost a bunch of games because of their bullpen, like the New York Mets. So, top to bottom, I just think they're a little bit better than our friends, the Washington Nationals. You can disagree. You can put the Nationals up at 10th. Live your life. We'll disagree sometimes. It is okay. Their best hitter on the year is going to be... who's it going to be? Should I be crazy? I'm going to pick Alec Bohm to be the best offensive player for the Philadelphia Phillies this year. I'm a believer in the upside. He's a high first-round draft pick who got to the bigs pretty quick and looked real good in some at-bats last season. A very mature plate discipline. Now, I'm not saying Bryce Harper's bad. I'm not saying that. I said Bryce Harper's an MVP candidate. By all means, Bryce Harper's going to have a higher OPS, probably higher numbers. But in terms of upside, I really like the direction that Alec Bohm is headed in. I think he's going to have a good season. It's also because I drafted him, so I kind of want him to have a good season. And if you type it in the Excel sheet, then it's bound to come true. This is a true story. Their best pitcher, easy lock for Aaron Nola. He's looked really good during spring. His stuff is always electric. You can say Cap, that's okay. But I think Aaron Nola is a nice, safe pick for best pitcher. And that will conclude the C tier. And now we're getting into the big stuff. We have 13 teams left, and this is the B tier. The St. Louis Cardinals, Oakland Athletics, Minnesota Twins, Toronto Blue Jays, Tampa Bay Rays, Milwaukee Brewers. I have Twins twice here. Very interesting, very interesting. Did not mean to do that. So we'll do that. Cool. But yeah, these are the teams we have here. And to start... how do we start this off? Somebody's going to get mad. Hi, Gina. I see you. Sorry, chat goes pretty fast. I miss some messages sometimes. This is hard. This is hard. Oh, we got a donation. Now I can put off my decision. Yankee Films, a frequent donator. I appreciate it. He got the Omar Narvaez thing in. We got to put it up. For those who don't know, there is apparently a meme that I look like this man. We're going to pull him up. We're going to pull him up as soon as my computer loads. In your honest opinion, do I look like this man? I feel like there's no way. How could I possibly look like this man? We don't share any resemblance. But because somebody donated me money, now I have to put him right next to me. So you guys can literally have a side-by-side comparison. And constantly remind me that I look like the starting catcher for the Milwaukee Brewers. When I clearly don't. When I clearly don't. There's like no... Well, I guess you like the eyes maybe. Guys, it's not actually like... I don't actually look like him, right? You guys were joking. You guys didn't actually like mean that. You guys don't actually... Oh, we got another one! While you're on it, can you throw Marco Gonzalez on there? Yes, sure. I will throw him on in about 5 minutes so that everyone can get their fill of Omar Narvaez memes. Because that is a fan favorite among the Jolly Olive community. I'm glad we have a meme, guys. I like having a meme. Even if it's at, my expense. But, whatever. I'm not the starting catcher. Now I look like Mark? I don't know if that's true. Okay. Mark is dope. He is dope. I agree. Kicking off the B tier, how do we want to do this? Robbie, you do look pretty similar to Justin Turner. If you shaved... be kind of over. Ugh, this is a hard tier, man. This is a hard tier. Okay. Oh, man. I don't know who to start with. I really do hate the Blue Jays pitching, but I don't think they're 13th. I think that's a little unfair to them. All right, I'm going to kick it off with the Oakland Athletics. This, I don't feel good about this by any means. I feel like the Oakland Athletics can easily be a top 10 team. But I just feel like they fall a little bit below their competition here. I look like I get that a lot. I look like the baby. Yeah, it's true. It's a true fact. I think the NL Central teams are probably coming up next, but I'm going to put them both above the Athletics. Let's see. So I really like the A's lineup, because how could you not? Sean Murphy's great. Matt Olson's awesome. I'm mad at Jed Lowry because he stole $20 million from the Mets, and now he's won a starting job somewhere else. Elvin Andrews trade I didn't really get, but hopefully he'll be a little bit good for them, filling at shortstop. Not quite Marcus Semien, but, still pretty good. Matt Chapman, he was my pick to win MVP. I don't know if that's going to come true. Just a little fun dark horse pick. Mark Canha, he's been solid for them, an on-base machine. Ramon Laureano, stud with a cannon arm. Steven Piscotty. The thing for me is that the bench is not deep at all. The bench starts with Chad Pinder. They got Mitch Moreland DHing. I forgot to mention that. It's Chad Pinder, it's Tony Kemp, Kai Tom, interesting name. And then probably Seth Brown, maybe? I don't know, man. Bench isn't that deep. Not a lot of options after their starting lineup. But the Oakland A's always find a way. Before I go on, let's put up Marco Gonzalez. I'm going to kill the Omar Narvaez meme so somebody else donates, and then I have to put him up again because that's how this works. That's how we get some money here. You know what I mean? But once again, I appreciate you all coming out to the stream. This has been a fun one. We've been above 100 viewers for a while. Very, very strange. Very strange. But I'm glad you guys are enjoying it because I always love streaming. I just wish I had more time to do it because school is annoying and I want to be done with it. Okay, Marco Gonzalez is up there. Let's see, what did I miss? Oh, number 23. I'm sorry, Robbie. Yeah, they're down there. They're down there. Chad Pinder's birthday today. That's fun. That's a fun one. But their lineup, not their lineup, their rotation. Chris Bassett was really good last season. Sean Manaea, he's coming back from an injury. Jesus Luzardo. A lot of young guys, a lot of guys a little bit unproven. Mike Fiers, I don't love. You know, all four of these guys could turn in awesome seasons and the A's could ride them to the postseason. I think that their season is going to hinge on these four guys, whether or not they can stay healthy and perform to their highest potential, because they've all had good seasons, but they've all been in different years for them. But 2020, they looked legit. Micah, I'm glad you got a feast, man. Eat good. Bullpen looks awesome, though, I will say. This is probably the best bullpen we've seen so far. Trevor Rosenthal, disgusting. Jake Diekman, really good. Sergio Romo, gross. Yusmeiro Petit is a master at getting out of jams. And then you got some solid options down here. Adam Kolarek, AJ Puk, Cole Irvin, Louis Trevino. They got a deep bullpen. So what they lack in their bench, they definitely make up for in their bullpen. It feels weird to put them at 13th. I think they're right outside the two central teams, which I'm going to rank next. Maybe it's a little unfair, but I'm going to roll with them at 13th, probably second in the AL West. Matt Chapman, obviously going to be their best hitter. Don't think there's any real question there. Best pitcher is an interesting one. I don't think it's Chris Bassett. I have to see him do it over a full season, really. He had a 3 ERA in 2019 over a full season. He was really good last year, more elite. Man, Connor's hating on the Twins. I don't think they have horrible starting pitching at all. I think I would very much disagree. Best pitcher, I'm going to go with Jesus Luzardo solely because I remember him having the highest odds to win Cy Young on their team. I believe his best season's probably still in front of him. I don't know if it's going to be this year, but I think that, you know, he might be due. So we'll see. We'll definitely see. But the A's, they're going to come in at 13th for me. Okay. Let's keep on keeping on, shall we? What time is it? 8:30? Oh, we've been going for a little bit. We've been going. This one's going to be a longer stream. We're probably going to go over 2 hours. Hope you guys are cool with that. What's up, Noah Slattery? Nice to see you, bud. Thanks for finding your way into the stream. With 118 people watching. That's wild. All right, coming in at number 12 and second in the NL Central, the St. Louis Cardinals. I've been sleeping on the Cardinals a little bit. I will probably be wrong by season's end because I'm usually wrong about my predictions, but I like the Brewers a little bit more. Oh, I just got an RBI. For those of you watching Omar Narvaez right now, I just hit one, so there you go. Yadier Molina, he's back. Paul Goldschmidt, always a slugging first baseman. Got some boos in chat, to be expected. Tommy Edmonds going to get the everyday nod for them, although I'd probably see Matt Carpenter maybe usurping him. Paul DeYoung at short, Nolan Arenado, the game changer at third base, and then a very young outfield that I'm very interested to see how they perform. Tyler O'Neill in left, Harrison Bader in center, who has struggled with the bat but is lightning fast and has an awesome glove. And then Darylin Carlson, who some people are picking to win Rookie of the Year, so that's definitely going to be interesting. A big hinge factor for the Cardinals to win the Central is going to be all three pieces of this outfield. They lost Dexter Fowler, so they're going with the young guys. It's going to be interesting. Make it 3 hours? Hey, man, Micah, if you say so. And then when we look at their rotation, it's interesting. I'm not gonna say it's bad by any means. And we got a donation from Dr. Touchdown, the classic. Let's get Paul DeJong up there since everyone overlooks his hitting for Goldschmidt in Arizona. DeJong is an underrated hitter, I will say. I think you're definitely right in saying that. Good pick. There, Mr. Touchdown, friend of the stream, frequent donator. You'll love to see it. Let's clear this out. Put that in the trash. Hopefully my computer doesn't crash. That was a rhyme. Bars. Let's get Paul DeJong up on the stream. Okay. But Touchdown, I appreciate you being a good sport about me putting the Cardinals at 12. I don't feel good about it. There's just a lot of good teams this year. MLB is just going to be so fun this year. I just can't wait for the season to start. I don't want it to seem like I'm hating on any teams other than the Nationals and Phillies, because Nationals and Phillies fans commonly rib me for it, so I'm cool leaning into it. What's up, Connor? Nice to see you, man. Another dono from Yankees Films, DeBaby. I don't have a PNG for DeBaby, I don't think. Oh, look. Let's go. Let's see. Does anything come up? Okay, there's the baby in a Nationals hat, so I might actually have to put that up. That actually definitely works. So, okay, Dodgers or Nationals? I'll let you pick. Yankees Films, I'll let you pick. You got two options here. Let's go. Okay, getting back to it. The Cardinals, you guys are trolling. The Cardinals rotation, very fun. A lot of potential. Obviously, Jack Flaherty is going to be a stud. Kwang Hyun Kim, for 7 starts last season, looked awesome. He said Dodgers, will do Dodgers. In just a second, once I finish talking about the Cards here. Adam Waino, he was real good in 2020. He's back on a 1-year deal. Carlos Martinez, they've been bouncing around over and over again. He's back in the rotation. Didn't look awesome in spring, but who knows with Carlos Martinez. His arsenal is constantly changing, so he's a very fun pitcher to watch. Miles McCollum was awesome from them in 2019, I think, and then took a huge step back because of injury last year. He's still recovering from, shoulder injury, so he's on the IL right now. He won't start with them. Then they got some options at the end here. John Gant? Daniel Ponce de Leon, great last name. So 2 solid pieces there at the end. Deep rotation, a lot of depth. I like it. The bullpen doesn't blow me away as much. I really like Giovanni Gallegos. That's the guy they got in the Luke Voit trade, which is looking more and more even, especially with Voit being injured to the start of 2021. Grade an 18. Thank you, Yankee Thumbs. Andrew Miller, he's getting old. Michaelis. Okay. See, I'm learning every day, guys. I'm learning every day. Alex Reyes has been solid for them. I believe he was closing games last year. Jordan Hicks is back. He could reclaim the closer job. So you know what? Maybe I am sleeping on the Cardinals bullpen. Genesis Cabrera, Jordan Hicks, Alex Reyes, Andrew Miller, Giovanni Gallegos. Honestly solid. But when you compare it to the Brewers bullpen, that's where it falls off a little bit, in my opinion. All right, let's put the baby up because somebody donated money, and we have to do it because he's an MLB player. That's just the world that we live in, apparently. Where DeBaby, what position would DeBaby play? Would it be? I feel like he would be like a center fielder, maybe, or maybe no, he would be a closer because he would say "Let's go" when he locked down a save. Yeah, he would be a closer. He would be like Rafael Soriano when he tore off his jersey and stuff, but he would just say "Let's go." That's it. That was probably the dumbest bet I've done on this channel. To pitcher, to closer. 2-way player, he's just that talented. Best hitter, I'm going with Nato. Top 5 third baseman in the game. And then best pitcher, I'm going to go with Jack Flaherty. Yeah, 2 easy picks here. In my opinion, these are the guys leading the charge for them. And then a smidge above them, I'm talking like maybe 1 win better, is the Milwaukee Brewers. It's a very, very close race for me, and I'm taking the upside because I'm not taking the upside on a lot of teams, and I kind of believe the upside of the Brewers. We're going to talk about why. After I drink water. At catcher, we have me. It's me. I catch for the Milwaukee Brewers. I make a pretty decent penny, honestly, doing it. I'm one of the better offensive catchers in the league. I'm probably due for a breakout season over the full campaign. Keston Hiura is moving to first base. Going to be interesting to see how that goes. He DH'd in college, and then they played him at second, but he wasn't great there. So now they're moving him to first. Hopefully that works out. Daniel Vogelbach will back him up. Colton Wong, solid pickup for them at second base. I was pleading for teams to go get him, and the Brewers stole him for a very cheap price. He's going to be an X factor for them. Part of the reason why I put them over the Cardinals, honestly. No, Narvaez is a fantastic fielding catcher, Matt McFarland. Don't get it twisted. Luis Urias is getting the start at shortstop. He goes in over Arcia. Yeah, C-Town, that's how it goes, baby. Don't worry about a touchdown. You donated twice, man. You can leave whenever you want. Thank you for stopping by the stream, man. Appreciate the donos, as always. Travis Shaw is getting the starts at third. He sort of had some launch angle issues. Yeah, they didn't lose the Voit trade, AB, by the way. They didn't lose it, but I'm saying the Cardinals got a pretty nice return. I don't think they knew what they had in Voit, but they had Goldschmidt, so it didn't really matter. Travis Shaw, I think he'll bounce back a little bit. I don't know how I feel about him as an everyday starting third baseman. Christian Yelich is probably going to be top 3 in MVP voting. Lorenzo Cain is back. Probably can still play a decent center field. They have him in center. And Jackie Bradley Jr. and Avisel Garcia get a platoon in right. Solid pickup for them as well. The Brewers made some much-needed moves, which was awesome to really put them over the edge. They needed some help in their lineup, and they got it done. So I can respect the front office for doing that. Josh, I'll see you next time, man. Thanks for stopping by. I love their rotation, I won't lie. Woodruff and Burns, the top 2 here. Burns is my pick for a sleeper Cy Young candidate. If you haven't watched my Corbin Burns video, you should go do it, because I'll tell you why he's so good. And then the bottom 3, they have options. And the last time the Brewers made it to Game 7 of the NLCS, it's when they had about 8 different viable starting pitchers. And that's sort of the situation we see here. We have Adrian Hauser, Brett Anderson, Josh Lindblom, Freddie Peralta, Eric Lauer. All these guys are capable of giving you a low 4 ERA season. I don't think that any of these guys will get above maybe 25 games started, because I think the Brewers just constantly mix and match and do what the Brewers do. And then obviously we know the prowess of their bullpen, but it's getting even stronger with some of the bottom guys here. You have Hader and Williams, which is the dynamic duo that's going to destroy hitters in the 8th and 9th inning. If you're not leading the Brewers by the 8th inning, you're probably going to lose the game, just straight up. But they also have sneaky good guys in Brent Suter and Eric Yardley. Brent Suter is a notoriously fast worker, so pace of play guy. I really appreciate that. Eric Yardley is a young guy for them. Got roughed up a little bit in spring yesterday, but it's been good for the most part. And then whatever guys that don't fit in the rotation here are going to be in the bullpen. So maybe Peralta, maybe Lauer, maybe even Lindblom, and these can be potentially 2-inning guys. So the Brewers, they have a blueprint. They do the Brewers thing, and I think they have a ton of options, and I just think that they're just a little bit, like a pinch, a smidge better than the St. Louis Cardinals for that reason. I'm going to put their best hitter, that's Christian Yelich, easy money. And oh yeah, 123 watching, but only 63 likes. If you're watching the stream and you enjoy it, drop a like. Thanks for saying that, AB. I always forget to plug myself when I do this, so appreciate that. Best pitcher, you got a few great options in Brandon Woodruff and Josh Hader and Devin Williams. I'm going to go with my man, Corbin Burns, who I dedicated a whole video to. Again, really like that video. If you haven't seen it already and you like my content, go check it out. This is what our 11 through 30 looks like. And while we prepare for the top 10, I'm going to go use the bathroom because it has been 2 hours and I got to go pee. So I'll be back in just a second. But enjoy looking at the overlay. Alright, I'm back. Did everyone leave? Oh my god, why are you guys going off? What is this? Brennan Wood Meow? Nice. Dajali. Is DeBaby still on the stream? I don't think I'm going to get any more donations because no one wants to see him leave. There's Ami. I was wondering where he was. Have we forgiven the Houston Trash Bros yet? I think so. I think so. Yes, I wash my hands, Squidward's Clarinet. Thank you for asking. You guys should wash your hands after you pee. Don't be gross. Oh, only 7 people watching? That stinks. So we went from 120 to 7 in 2 minutes. That's awesome. All right, guys. Time to crack the top 10. Here we go. We still got some B-tier teams to list. We crossed off the Cardinals, Athletics, and Milwaukee Brewers. So we have a few options for number 10. Did I use soap? Yes, I did, Connor. The Astros, the Rays, the Blue Jays, the Twins. Tough. The Blue Jays pitching is not doing it for me. Tampa Bay is sneaky. I don't think they're 10th. I think they're higher. Astros are probably going to win the West. I think they're higher. I think I'm gonna go with the Minnesota Twins at my 10th spot. I believe that this team is still top 10 in the league. We got some people sleeping on them in the chat, which I don't really understand because there were some comments about their rotation, which I believe is honestly solid. But let's go over it really quick. Mitch Garver was a Silver Slugger in 2019, took a huge step back in 2020. Him and Jeffers are going to be a solid combo behind the dish for them, so there's one thing. Miguel Sano is going to rake. I do have the Jays over the Twins, I do. Miguel Sano is going to rake. We all know that. He's going to strike out a lot in the process. That's what he does. Jorge Polanco, solid at second base. He's going to platoon with Arias, which I think is awesome. That's going to be a really good... So they got 2 solid platoons at both catcher and second base. Andrelton Simmons and Josh Donaldson is probably the best left side of the infield defensively in the entire league. I don't think many people would disagree with that. Can he do it with the bat? That remains to be seen, but this lineup's pretty stuffed, so it's not totally a necessity. Alex Kirilloff got the demotion, which stinks, but I still think he's going to be awesome for them when he gets the call. Center field, Byron Buxton, great glove. He's been figuring it out with the bat more and more. You really like to see it. And Max Kepler can rake, dude. And then, of course, they made the integral move to their success to get Nelson Cruz back in the lineup at DH. So, lineup looks mostly the same. They lost Eddie Rosario, which stinks, but they are replacing him with Kirilloff, a young stud. Rotation, I think, is solid. I don't totally understand the hate on it. Barrios does have something to prove. I think Maeda should be higher on the depth chart. Finished second in Cy Young voting last year. And I think he's going to replicate that this year. I have another guy that I drafted. So I think Maeda, Barrios, solid 1-2 punch. J.A. Happ was a good pickup to be in the lower half here. They just extended Randy Dobnak for like 5 years. And at one point, Dobnak was like the best pitcher in 2020 baseball. So don't be surprised if he gets back to that form. And then you're kind of taking, like, Pineda has a high WAR here, but I don't necessarily believe that he's like a viable number 3. And then Matt Shoemaker, who could possibly bounce back, but he's been battling injuries forever. So I don't know if that's going to come together, but I do really like the Twins bullpen. They picked up Alex Colome, who, will give you a heart attack save, but he gets the job done. Tyler Duffy's good. Taylor Rogers is great. Caleb Thielbar has been a solid lefty for them. Hansel Robles, good pickup from the Angels for them, solid righty. So they got like 5 solid options in the bullpen, and they got some starters that can eat some innings. So I do like the Twins pitching staff. On paper, I think they're worse than the White Sox, but on paper doesn't always translate to the regular season. The Twins are a regular season juggernaut, and we obviously all know what they do in the postseason. But, oh, here we go. Long-time viewer first stream. What's going on, Lucas Lieferman? Anyway, we could get Randy Dobnak. Yes, we can. I was just talking about how much I like him for the 2021 season. He signed a very team-friendly extension, and good for him because the guy was a former Uber driver. He was playing baseball and doing that at the same time, so good for him. He got his bag. I think he got like $9 million or something. But thank you, Lucas, for the 5. Really appreciate it. So this will be the end of DeBaby, unfortunately. My lookalike. We're going to have to say goodbye, but it's for a good cause because I do like Randy. Don't be surprised if Randy ends up as like their number 3 this year. I think if he finds that first half of 2020 self and J.A. Happ is J.A. Happ, then you have a solid 1 through 4 for the playoffs. Playoff games that the Twins probably won't win, but solid. There you go. Bye to baby. Yeah, I know, guys. I'm sorry. So, best hitter for them, I'm going to go ahead and just lock in Nelson Cruz, because Nelson Cruz is going to hit 40 bombs probably. I think that's just easy, honestly. You could say Josh Donaldson, maybe even Max Kepler, but I think Nelson Cruz is totally fine. Hey, you think he has a better mustache than me? That's crazy. Best pitcher for them, easy, Kenta Maeda. Put some money on him. His odds were plus 2,000 to win Cy Young, and I like those odds, honestly. I like him pretty good. All right, moving on in the B tier. I think this is as far as the Blue Jays can get for me. This is as far as they can get. They are a top 10 team, maybe the best lineup in the American League. You could definitely make that argument. But that pitching staff definitely worries me a lot. Let's talk about the Blue Jays. I know we got some Blue Jays fans in here that maybe would rank them a little bit higher, but I think 9 is definitely a fair spot to put them at. Alejandro Kirk made the team. Let's go. He'll probably usurp Danny Jansen pretty soon, but that's 2 solid options back there. Vladdy Guerrero has been tearing the cover off the ball in spring training. He looks really good. If they're going to be successful, they're going to need to put up like 6 to 8 runs a game, and he needs to be doing stuff for them. So hopefully he comes through this season. Marcus Semien, great pickup on a 1-year deal to play second. Yeah, there you go. Bo Bichette, possible MVP candidate at plus 4,000 odds. That's pretty good. I would put some money there if I were you. Kevin Biggio, you can put him pretty much anywhere on the field. Joe Panik made the team. Good for him. Good for him. And then their outfield is just solid, man. Lourdes Gurriel Jr., Teoscar Hernandez, George Springer, and they got Randall Grichuk hanging out in the back. They have a solid outfield. And then at DH, Senor Rowdy Tellez, who looked pretty good last season, honestly, with the bat. So the Blue Jays lineup, we all know how good it is. It's just when we get down here that things start to get a little dicey. Now, Hyunjin Ryu is very good. But I will say, the Blue Jays season will absolutely fall apart if Hyunjin Ryu gets injured. And it wasn't too long ago that Hyunjin Ryu was constantly an injury worry for the Los Angeles Dodgers. After Ryu, you have Robbie Ray, who will probably give you a 4.5 ERA, a lot of walks, but a lot of strikeouts. 4.7 BB per 9. Ugh. Tanner Roark is at the end of his career. I don't really see him, being very effective this year. Steven Matz has looked pretty good in spring. He's always a candidate to strike out a lot of guys. Can he keep his walks down? Can he keep his confidence up? Matz is known to be very good later innings of the game when he's like settled into a routine. It's just that first inning where if he gets thrown off his rhythm, he's really a head case on the mound. So it's going to be interesting. A big X factor for them, probably the biggest, most important performance of the year for them is going to be Nate Pearson. They need Nate Pearson to take the next step and be a viable number 2. Because if he's not, there's no real number 2 here that I see. I see a bunch of number 4s and number 5s compiling a starting rotation. Ross Stripling is fine. Tyler Chatwood is fine. These guys are all serviceable, but if you're going to win the AL East, Pearson, Ryu, and maybe even Matz need to all be great. So it's going to be interesting to see how that goes for the Blue Jays. Their bullpen's solid, though. Even without Kirby Yates, they lost Yates, which just sucks, dude. I really wish that he could have been healthy this season. I want to see him back. But Jordan Romano's awesome. Rafael Dolis has been really good for them. David Phelps was a nice, strong pickup. Any guys that don't make the rotation here will be solid on the bullpen, like Anthony Kay. Besides one blow-up last season against the Mets, Anthony Kay was really good for them. AJ Cole was fine. So they got some depth here. Oh, a veteran in Francisco Liriano down here as well. So I like the bullpen. I really love the lineup, but I hate the rotation. So 3 different levels there to the Blue Jays for sure. Their best hitter is going to be Bo Bichette. You could argue for literally anyone in that lineup, and I would probably agree with you partly. But I'm gonna pick Bo Bichette. He's my guy. Liriano was released today. Sad. And then their best pitcher, probably Hyunjin Ryu, as long as he stays healthy. Yeah, the Jays needed Walker, but although I'm glad because the Mets got him, and the Mets needed him too. But Odorizzi was just the perfect pick there, and they just didn't get. I guess he didn't want to go there or something. I heard that they had made him an offer, and that just nothing came together. But Odorizzi would have been a perfect fit for the Blue Jays. It's one that was absolutely needed too. Yeah, I mean Springer and Vladdy could possibly outperform Bo Bichette, but I just like Bo Bichette. That's all. That's where my money is. I want to go with my money. Odorizzi might be overrated, but I still think he's a better option than literally any of the number 2s they have there, So I have them at 9th. I feel like that's respectable. They definitely cracked the top 10 for me, but not quite any further than that. Left in the B tier, we have the Tampa Bay Rays and the Houston Astros. I believe we've ranked everyone else. Yes, we have. Okay. I'm going to put the Houston Astros at number 8. I'm higher on the Rays than I once was. I'll explain once we get to them. But I think the Astros are a solid landing spot here at number 8. You could probably toss them in at number 9. I wouldn't be mad at you for it. We have a lot of empty messages being sent. Very strange. Don't know what that's all about. Ami, what's going on? Okay, let's see. Sorry, chat's popping off. Okay. All right, Astros. Catcher, pretty weak position, but they got their guys there. Yuli Gurriel, older, getting towards the end of his career. That kind of thing. Not the greatest first baseman in the game. They'll need Altuve to bounce back. One sec. Hey, they got guys too, Ami. Altuve, they need him to bounce back. Carlos Correa is apparently in his last season as a Houston Astro. He denied their offer, which was honestly laughable. 6 years, $120 million. There's no way you're going to get a player like Correa for $20 million AAV. It's just not going to happen. Alex Bregman has been a stud for them. They got Brantley back, which was huge. Brantley almost went to the Jays to make that outfield even crazier. Kyle Tucker was awesome for them last season. He's finally playing up to his potential. And then they got Miles Straw in center field, although apparently he has an injury, undisclosed day-to-day. He's very fast, great with the glove. Hopefully he can produce a little bit with the bat. Yordan Alvarez is going to be a monster for them. And then we got the rotation, which is solid with the addition of Jake Odorizzi. Not injury related, that's good. So they have Greinke, Odorizzi, McCullers, Urquidy, Javier, Framber Valdez, who is not out for the season anymore. He'll be back somewhat soon, I believe sometime after May. And that's a solid 1 through 6 here. So they have one guy they can spare. It'll probably be Javier. But that is a playoff rotation right there, especially with how good Framber Valdez was last season, especially with how good Odorizzi can be in a full season. Then you got the bullpen. They got Pedro Baez, a much necessary addition for the bullpen. Ryan Presley's been very good for a while. Blake Taylor, they got in a trade with the Mets. Joe Smith, pretty good. Ryan Stanek, pretty good. Bullpen's pretty okay. Nothing to write home about, but definitely gets the job done. I would not say that their bullpen's better than the A's. I think the A's have them beat there. But I think the rotations between the Astros and A's are definitely comparable. But I would give the edge to the Astros. They just have a little bit more name value. So I think the Astros are a pretty easy pick to win the AL West. If a lot goes right for the A's, they probably usurp them maybe. I think their best hitter is going to be Yordan Alvarez. You could definitely argue Correa because he's in a contract year. You could definitely argue Bregman because he's been doing it forever and he's like a top 5 player in baseball. But Yordan, he's coming back after an unfortunate injury in 2020. And I think the dude's just going to rake. He looked like unstoppable when he first came up in 2019. So he's going to be very fun to watch back in the lineup this year. Scary dude. Scary looking dude. I would not want to pitch against him. Best pitcher for them? Ooh, interesting. It's well, Lance McCullers just got his extension. Zach Greinke, maybe? Zach Greinke's getting a little bit old. Usurp, you like that word? There you go. Verlander's out for this season. Theo, he's gone. He will not be back. Yeah, I think just a nice easy pick is Zach Greinke. I'm just going to roll with that. I can't think of anyone that I think would definitely outperform him. The guys in the rotation are solid, but none of them I think are better than Greinke. Yeah, I didn't pick Bregman for top. Sue me. Show me the case. File a claim against me. Don't actually, if you're a lawyer. Don't do that. Don't do that. Please. I can't afford a legal team. I don't have that kind of money. 7 teams to go, and that means the last team in the B tier was the Tampa Bay Rays. Very nice. For those who are just tuning in, this is our rankings right now. We're getting close to the end here. Probably go for another half hour. So if you're just tuning into the stream, we got some time left together. Tampa Bay Rays lost a ton of people, added some pieces that didn't blow people away, but they are the Tampa Bay Rays. They are a machine. And a big important factor in going into their 2021 outlook is that the platoon lineup situation is still very much intact. Zunino and Mejia, Choi and Diaz. Also Setsugo, he can fit in there as well. Brennan Lau, Wander Franco might get the call. Willie Adames, Wander Franco, probably going to fill in here if Willie Adames struggles at all. Joey Wendell, vacuum at third base, mops up anything. So the options go all over the place in the infield. Yandy Diaz can also play third. Mike Brousseau was solid for them in the postseason. The outfield, they need Randy Arozarena to be what he was if they're going to compete and go deep into the playoffs like they did. Austin Meadows needs to return to form. He's currently not even starting for them unless he's the DH. He's not. So he needs to return to form because he was super good for them in 2019. Center field is Kevin Kiermaier, vacuum in there, probably an 8-hitter for them, that kind of thing. You know what you're getting with Kevin Kiermaier. Manuel Margot was a solid trade pickup for them. So, I mean, the lineup, the offensive pieces we see are mostly the same. And I think that worked really, really well for them last season, the platoon options they had. So no reason to change that up. Now we got the rotation, and it's interesting, for sure. Now, Tyler Glasnow finally added his third pitch. He has a sliding cutter, famously known as the Slutter, that is now in his repertoire, and it's going to, I believe, transform his entire game. He's looked really good in spring training. His K/9 was already absurd. It's probably going to go up, if we're being completely honest. And I think he's going to be the only regular starter that the Rays have this season. They have Yarbrough, who they bounce between to the rotation and bullpen. They picked up Archer. Waka's actually looked pretty good. Rich Hill. They have a bunch of opener guys, and I feel like the situation that's going to go on here, also Colin McHugh, is that these guys are probably going to go like 3 innings or something, and multiple of them could pitch in the same game. And now they have this deep bullpen as well that stayed the same pretty much from last season. They lost Nick Anderson, which sucks. Really does suck, but they still have Trevor Richards, Luis Patino, who they got from the Padres, Cody Reed, Oliver Drake, never mind, he's also out, but Andrew Kitteridge, Shane McClanahan, who was a top prospect that came up in the playoffs, Chaz Rowe, Colin McHugh, Ryan Thompson, Peter Fairbanks, Diego Castillo. That is a long list of guys that could possibly be the best reliever on some of the worst teams that we've seen. I do love Rich Hill on me. I will say I love Rich Hill. So their lineup is deep. It doesn't have name value, but that's never been the Rays' way. And their pitching, while they lost Blake Snell, who they only really threw for 5 innings, will sort of probably just get replaced by Glasnow. I know they had both last season and that worked for them, but this pitching is deep. Oh, we got another one from Yankee Films. Thank you for another 5, man. I appreciate it. Pat Light from the Twins. Big on Twitter. Yes, sir. That's coming right up. If I can find him on the Twins. I don't know if that's going to pop up. We'll see. We'll see. I got Pittsburgh. That's about it, though. It looks like the only thing here. So we're going to go with Pittsburgh Pat Light. Hope you don't mind. Apologies for that. Let's see. Okay, let's browse, please. Okay, you get down here. I love your Twitter, sir. There you go. Now you're on the stream. All right. So, yeah, I really like the Rays' depth. I don't think it's much to say outside of that. Their best pitcher, I believe, is going to be Tyler Glasnow. Wouldn't get it twisted any other way, really. And best hitter? I don't really want to go with a Rosarina because I think he's going to come back down to earth. Pitcher record? Yeah, I know. That's silly. Who's going to be their best hitter? What do you guys think? Who's going to be the Rays' best hitter? If you like this song, it's Manic by Sedated Beats on SoundCloud. Link in the bio for all Sedated Beats tracks. Wander Franco, Meadows. I kind of like the Meadows bounce back pick. I kind of like it. I'm kind of into it. Zunino, no. Let's go with Brandon Lau. Let's play it safe. I think let's play it safe. Let's go with Brandon Lau. Mostly just because I just want to get to the A tier, guys. We're finally here. We're finally at the end. The top 6 teams in MLB, in my opinion, are the White Sox, Mets, Braves, Padres, Dodgers, and Yankees. And I believe the ranking of them is pretty straightforward. I think you guys pretty much know how this is going to go. If you've watched any power ranking streams, I don't think there's going to be much surprises. I have the White Sox coming in at 6th, just because they are an on-paper team, which are teams that made a lot of off-season moves, but we haven't seen the team chemistry in play yet. The same thing can be said for the Mets, but obviously I'm giraffe neck jolly. I'm going to put them a little bit higher in my top 5. I want this to go away. Please go away. I'm already a member. Excuse me. All right, let's just refresh them. Now the Orioles are way down, Daniel. They're way down here. There you go. 27th. All right, let's check it out. So they have arguably the best catcher in baseball, Yasmani Grandal. He got the bag from them. Jose Abreu took home the MVP last year. They also have Andrew Vaughn waiting in the wings. Nick Madrigal and Tim Anderson are a solid middle infield, both defensively. Oh, actually, no, Tim Anderson's been struggling defensively. Excuse me. Maybe he'll be making the move soon. Yohan Moncada's finally back. How can the Mets be A tier when you'll be under 500? I don't know, man. It's just magic. It really is. And normally you could make the argument for Sox over Mets, but the loss of Eloy Jimenez is huge for the White Sox. A very silly injury, another piece of evidence for the fact that maybe spring training should be a little bit shorter. He was trying to rob a home run and tore his pectoral. So now they're going to roll with Lurie Garcia. They picked up Jake Lamb today, I saw, but left field is still very much a question mark for them. Right field was already a question mark with Adam Eaton there. I did not love that pickup, but Luis Robert is going to have an awesome year in center. So lineup's good. We know that. The top three of the rotation, really good. Lance Lynn, Lucas Giolito, Dallas Keuchel, they all get the job done. Dylan Cease probably due for a breakout. And then the number 5 spot, kind of up for grabs. I think it's probably, in the end, going to be going to Michael Kopech. I believe that he had Tommy John, so he's on his way back, and they're probably going to ease him in. But in terms of potential, I like him the most to be the number 5 there. Their rotation's one of the best in the AL, though, straight up. I would argue it's probably better than the Yankees, I will say. The Yankees have a better pitcher than any of them in Garrett Cole, but in terms of well-roundedness, I would go with the White Sox if I'm going for a 7-game set. Bullpen's awesome. Liam Hendricks and Aaron Bummer are basically the only bullpen combo I can think of that rivals Devin Williams and Josh Hader. I think those two 8th inning, 9th inning combos are among the best in MLB. You also got Evan Marshall. You also got Matt Foster. Cody Hewer was solid for them down the stretch. Garrett Crochet is electric. They just have a bunch of fun young guys here. I'm really looking forward to seeing how this team plays. But again, it's an on-paper team, so we have to be a little bit wary when we talk about them over a full season. I do believe they are the team to beat in the Central, and I'm going to pick Yohan Moncada as my best player offensively and defensively for the White Sox this season. I know he can be a little bit streaky at times. He even admitted himself that sometimes he just doesn't have the same motivation that he usually does. But I think with this team around him, Yohan Moncada is going to flourish. Their best pitcher, pretty easy pick here. You could argue for Liam Hendricks, but I think this is the beginning of Lucas Giolito, the real uprising of Lucas Giolito. I think he's maybe a candidate to take home the Cy Young. I have a little bit of money on him, so I'm hoping that is the case. And that leaves us with 5 teams, and of course, up next are my New York Mets. Yes, sir. Now, should the Mets be this high? You could argue that they could even be higher. I think that they're pretty much a safe guarantee at 5th or 6th here. I don't really see them as being worse than the Rays or Astros. You could argue that the White Sox are better, but they've been getting hit by the injury bug. I think that the Mets have maybe the most well-rounded lineup in the National League outside of like the Dodgers and Padres, obviously, because those are just 2 teams in a different echelon. But the Mets have a solid lineup. They added James McCann on a 4-year deal, which was a little questionable. We got a lot of Mets haters in the chat. Thank you, Yankees folks, for saying Mets over Braves. I appreciate it. God, guys, come on. What's with all the Mets hate? Pete Alonso, due for a bounce back. He was on a 40 home run pace last year, so definitely look out for him. Dominic Smith's in left, not going to be at first base. Jeff McNeil, if he can stay healthy and stay in one position, I think he's going to have his best season. And now that we have the depth pieces to sort of shore up those other positions, I think Jeff will just stay put at second, which is awesome. Francisco Lindor, nothing really needs to be said. It's Francisco Lindor. Hopefully that extension gets done. Please get it done. Please. And we're going to get to see this team in black jerseys. That's awesome. JD Davis at 3rd is probably the weakest link of that rotation. Not the rotation, the lineup. And that's saying a lot because this is a guy that still, put up a 441 slugging and had a decent OPS, near 800. So the fact that all eight of these guys could put up an OPS above 800 says something about this lineup. Dominic Smith in left looks awesome. Apparently we offered him 10 years, $325. This is Lindor. Interesting. Didn't want that. It's going to be tough to go over that. And then Michael Conforto in right, who's also due for an extension. I don't know if they're going to get that done, though. remains to be seen. But I really like the Mets lineup a lot more than a lot of other teams' lineups in the National League. Probably pretty much. I think there's no better lineup besides maybe the Dodgers, Padres, and maybe Yankees if their guys can stay healthy. But the Yankees guys usually don't stay healthy, so we'll see. And then the rotation, which is definitely a concern for me. The rotation completely changes when you get Carrasco and Syndergaard back, but obviously we can't evaluate the rotation with those guys back because they're injured. But the 1 through 4 of DeGrom, Carrasco, Syndergaard, and Stroman in a playoff series is, you love to see that. That can, go up against the Titans of the NL, I truly believe. But they also have solid options. And Taijuan Walker, that was a great pickup for them. David Peterson, he's going to get the nod here. Solid for them in 2020. Got some Rookie of the Year votes. I really liked Jordan Yamamoto in spring, but he got demoted. So his spot goes to Joey Lucchesi. Another solid lefty with a very fun pitch, a change-up curve. They call it the Churve. And then Seth Lugo's listed here, but he should be nowhere near this rotation because we need him over here in the bullpen. Now, the bullpen for the Mets has been the bane of our existence for pretty much 5 years in a row at this point. But I'm more encouraged about it than I ever have been before. Edwin Diaz is still at the helm. People who don't watch baseball will say that Edwin Diaz is a bad pitcher. If you don't watch baseball, you might believe that. It's not true. Do I believe that Edwin Diaz is a good closer? Not necessarily. I would be much more comfortable with him in 8th inning scenarios rather than 9th inning scenarios, but Seth Lugo's injured, so he's the guy. Trevor May was a fantastic pickup to be a setup man, as well as Miguel Castro. He's really developing into a really fine player. Micah Johnston with a donation. We got my Braves coming up soon, so let's get Mike Soroka up there. You got it, bro. Coming up. Thank you for the $5, man. I appreciate it. Mike Soroka. Good pick. If he can stay healthy, that dude's going to be awesome for them. They just need to keep him on the field. Yeah, with Braves, man, it's going to be interesting, man. I'm really excited to see the Mets and Braves go head-to-head. I know you got some other good East teams in there, but I truly believe it's just going to be a 2-horse race. But I don't know. I could be wrong. What do I know? I'm just a baseball YouTuber. Okay. New video tomorrow, by the way. I forgot to mention that. I probably should have said that earlier when more people were here. But new video coming out tomorrow on the San Diego Padres. So look out for that. Okay. Back to as Metsy as it getsy. So yeah, we know the deal with the Mets. We know that they're another paper team and they're battling injuries right now. So if they get their guys back and everyone can stay healthy and perform, the Mets have a serious shot to take the NL East from the Braves. But, I'm not locking that in yet. I still believe the Braves are the favorite to win that division. Best hitter for the Mets is going to be Francisco Lindor. I believe he's due for an awesome season. The dude has been tearing the cover off the baseball in spring training. Please extend him. Please extend him. Best pitcher, if I said anybody else, I would be lying. It would be unfair for me to say anybody else. Lindor DeGrom is an easy pick. We're in the top 4. Coming in at 4th, right above the Mets, is the Atlanta Braves. I believe that everyone's 1 through 4. Anyone who talks about baseball, their 1 through 4 is pretty much the same. I'm not going to reveal it, but I'm pretty sure we all know what it's going to be. Let's talk a little bit about the Braves. I believe they still have a slight edge over the Mets in the NL East. Just because they're a little bit more proven. We know their team chemistry. We know about how good their guys are together. We gotta refresh real quick. Let me do that. Let's go. Yeah, the Mets have options for their best hitter. McNeil, Rob, maybe, but I still think it's Lindor. Alonso and Conforto are both better hitters than Lindor. Maybe Conforto. I don't think Alonso, though. No. Bo Brown. Great name, Bo Brown. Keep Soroka, but Mets vs. Braves series to end the season can potentially be the rest. Wow, I didn't know they played on the last series of the season. That's going to be sick. I have to get tickets to that game. They're probably cheap right now. I should lock those in. Thank you for letting me know. And thank you for the $5, Bo Brown. Much appreciated. Braves fan? I don't know. Let's go. But yeah, catcher, Travis Darnell. Very nice. Freddie Freeman won MVP last year. We all know what we get out of him. Ozzie Albies up the middle, Dansby Swanson. This lineup is mostly the same. Austin Riley is really my only concern, and obviously Marcell Ozuna in the field, not DHing, is going to be a detriment to the Braves a little bit. But my biggest concern lies here. I thought that they would go get like a Jake Lamb, but they're going to roll with Pablo Sandoval behind Austin Riley, so they're believing in the kid. His fielding isn't great. He doesn't run very well, so he's got to do it with the bat, or else there's no real reason to keep him in here. But young, thick Austin Riley is getting another shot because I know he was a big prospect for them. Christian Pache playing center for them. An amazing glove out there in center. Really only played in the playoff series in the NLCS, I believe. Maybe in the NLDS, I don't remember. But he's going to be good for them. Definitely a Rookie of the Year candidate. And then the rotation. Hey, Javier Perez, fellow Rutgers dude. Nice. Roger that. Yeah, we already heard Mets black jerseys. They're back. Rotation. Okay, let's talk about it. If Mike Soroka can stay healthy, it completely changes the layout of this rotation. It says Achilles here. To my Braves fans in chat, do we know how long he's out? I'm curious to see that. Charlie Morton, great ad, playoff experience. Playoff Charlie is going to be lights out for them. Max Fried had a breakout season last year. Well, I don't know if he's going to replicate it because I know, he had some friendly numbers, but he completely matched his FIP, which is pretty cool. You don't see that very often. Drew Smyly, sneaky pickup, but he also got a lot of money, $10 million for Drew Smyly, something like that. Ian Anderson, Rookie of the Year candidate as well. Kyle Wright, notorious for getting roughed up in that NLCS series. He was the 10-run inning guy. But they got a solid 1 through 5 here. I'm not worried at all about the Braves rotation as long as they stay healthy, and that remains to be seen. Drew Smyly's Baseball Savant page is pretty fun. You should go check it out. Yeah, I know the White Sox got Jake Lamb. I thought the Braves were going to get Jake Lamb. Give Austin Riley a little bit of competition. The second best team in baseball? No, Gabriel. You are mistaken. They're not better than the Yankees, for sure. At best, they would be third. But I don't think so. Because of their bullpen. I don't 100% believe in the Braves' bullpen. This is my only thing that I'm a little bit wary about. Depth-wise, it's good, though. They have a ton of great options in Chris Martin, who was a breakout candidate for them last year. Will Smith didn't perform quite as the way they wanted because they did give him a decent pretty penny. But A.J. Minter was awesome. Tyler Matzik was awesome out of nowhere. Former Rockies guy. Josh Tomlin, Luke Jackson, Grant Dayton. Sean Newcomb, who people are forgetting about. He's probably going to make the bullpen, I think. I would be surprised if he didn't. So they have like a solid 1 through 7. It's just no lockdown guy, in my opinion. If it's lefties, then A.J. Minter's your lockdown guy. Maybe it's Chris Martin. I don't know the Braves as well as Braves fans would. But losing Mark Melancon, I think, definitely hurt a little bit. Game 5 starter was Mike Fultonevich. That was the Cardinals series. I'm thinking of the Braves-Dodgers series. Mike Fultonevich wasn't a Brave by that time. He got released. How's your computer? Because it's honestly working fine. I should have been doing Fangraphs for a while, but I wasn't. But here we are. So yeah, that's the layout for the Braves. I still believe they're a little bit better than the Mets, but it's really going to be interesting to watch these two teams go head-to-head. But until the Mets prove that they can beat the Braves consistently, I can't put them above them. And I'm being fair as a Met fan by doing that. Best hitter for the Atlanta Barbs is probably going to be Freddie. I'm just going to go ahead and say Freddie again. He won MVP last year. I have no reason to believe he won't turn in another fantastic season for them. Best pitcher. We could be fun here. We could be fun. I think I'm going to go with Ian Anderson. I like his upside for these Braves. I know it's probably safer to pick Charlie Morton. Maybe a little bit of a safer pick in Max Fried because I know Max Fried's a little bit more proven. Oh yeah, I slept on Ronald Acuna Jr. a little bit there. My bad. But I like Freeman and I like Anderson. I think Anderson has a Rookie of the Year potential to him. Marley Chorton, that's a good one. Okay, so down in the nitty gritty, I'm pretty sure we all know. Number 3 is the New York Yankees. The Yankees, always a team that you got to worry about the injury bug with. They've been left mostly alone up until recently, and then they got bit hard. They lost Luke Voit for a little bit. Gary Sanchez, hopefully he can return to form. They're going to need him to step up with the absence of Voit and hopefully be his former self. Higashioka is not a bad pick, though, honestly, back there. He's not bad. DJ LeMahieu, they got back. That was a must for them. Gleyber Torres needs to be better with the bat because his fielding is not doing it at shortstop. They got to figure out the shortstop situation soon. If they want to be serious about 2021, I think they have to go out and get Trevor Story. I just don't know what package they can put together to go get him. It's going to be really interesting to see. Gio Urshela, I love at third base. Glad he finally got a chance to start there and flourished into a great player because he was bouncing around teams between like the Indians and the Blue Jays. So I'm glad he settled in. Clint Frazier finally broke out, was a Gold Glove candidate, not a winner, but still a candidate, which is awesome. Luke Voit, I don't know how long he's out actually. I think it's like maybe a month or 2 months. I'm not totally sure what the timetable is. And then Aaron Judge, who they are being very cautious with, as they should. You need him to play 120 games. You need him to get in the lineup consistently. Because the shtick is getting... I mean, I know it's not a shtick. It's the wrong thing to say. These guys would love to play every day. But the theme of Judge and Stanton constantly getting injured, it has to stop if the Yankees want to get their ring. So hopefully these two guys can just stay in the lineup and rake, and we finally get to see the reincarnation of Mantle and Maris that we've all been waiting for like 3 seasons. So hopefully that finally happens this season for the Yankees. The more I look at this team, the more I think that maybe you could put the Braves over them, but I still think we're correct in saying they're 3rd best in the league. I don't love their rotation, but if everything goes right, then their rotation is going to be very good. Garrett Cole, Corey Kluber, Jordan Montgomery, Jameson Taillon, Domingo Germán. Germán's making the club, unfortunately, and getting starts. Davy Garcia, I think will be back up. He got the award for the best rookie in camp today and then got sent down the same day, which was, unfortunate for him. Sevy's due back in the middle of the season, but don't expect Sevy to be Sevy immediately. He's coming off Tommy John surgery. So at least give the dude a little bit of time to, get acclimated and get used to things again. I don't see him being a huge playoff piece for them. I think if the Yankees are going to win in the playoffs, it's going to be off the backs of Cole, Kluber, and Taillon. So we'll see. And then the bullpen has been consistent for them for a while, but they lost Adam Ottavino. They don't have Justin Wilson right away. They don't have Zach Britton right away. Chapman is suspended. Unfortunate. So they're dealing with Chad Green, Darren O'Day, Jonathan Losiaga. I know Lucas Ludt, something like that. He's pitching well for them. He's probably going to make the club. Michael King hit 98 miles per hour today. That was pretty good. They got options. They got depth, and they got their big signature guys here. So the Yankees, they're going to do their usual Yankees thing. They just need to get over the hump and get back to the World Series. That is the goal for them. Best hitter, Aaron Judge. No question for me, really, if he stays healthy. And then best pitcher, Garrett Cole. Yankees is a pretty easy one to go over here. And now we're down to the final 2. And no surprise here. 1 and 2 is going to be Dodgers and Padres. The Dodgers are still the top dog in the NL, but I think it doesn't get more exciting than Dodgers-Padres baseball. Those are going to be some of the most watched series of the MLB season. Probably the new best rivalry in MLB. Braves and Mets probably a close second to there. A lot of fun things going on for these two teams. We can take a look at their depth charts really quick. Let's check out the Padres first. The Padres don't get the edge because they are a paper team. We talked a little bit about paper teams before, how we can't really commit to them yet because we don't know about their team chemistry. Let's see. I saw a question here. Who's your favorite current player? Probably Dom Smith, because I'm a Mets fan. How long is Chapman suspended for? I'm not sure. 2 games. There you go. There's your answer. Austin Nola behind the dish. I still think he has some things to prove. They gave up a pretty good package for him, so hopefully he still performs. Eric Hosmer was pretty dreadful for them. He needs to step it up. He needs to play up to his billing. Cronenworth and Kim is going to be an awesome second base platoon. Fernando Tatis Jr. is on his way to becoming the best player in baseball. People who say he's overrated, you're capping. You got to be capping. Manny Machado, great at third base. We all know he can be a little bit of a head case, but the dude can play. Outfield depth is solid with them bringing back Profar. He's in the infield and the outfield. Oh, we got a dono from Robbie Hyde. Put the GOAT Mark Bellhorn there. Let's see if there's a PNG available for Mark Bellhorn. I don't know about that. But thank you for the 5. I appreciate it, my man. Let's see if we got it. Nope, that is not Mark Bellhorn. That is not Mark Bellhorn. Anyone else you got, Robbie? I'll put up anyone else. But it doesn't look like our friend Mark is here. So it's going to have to be someone else. Best hitter for the Padres, by the way, Fernando Tatis Jr. Easy one. Easy one. Easy. Yo. Let's see. Rotation. Obviously, the most beefed up rotation. They won the offseason. But we all remember what happened the last time the Padres won the offseason, so let's be a little bit cautious and wary. But I don't think it gets much better than Darvish, Snell, Lamet as your 1 through 3. Vincente Padilla, that I believe would exist. He had pitched recently enough. Good pick. Let's see. Any luck? There it is. There he is. That's a little Bartolo Colon-esque. A little bit. Just a wee bit. Okay. Shrink him. Put him down. Get him shrunk. There we go. Lock him in. Perfect. There's Vicente Padilla. Oh my, no, I'm not him too. Get out of here. Yeah, we need to leave Jason Dominguez alone, by the way, guys. The dude has not played a minor league minor league game. Can we let him play rookie ball first before we say he's going to be Mickey Mantle? I mean, Jesus Christ, dude. Best pitcher for the Padres, Yu Darvish. No real question there for moi. And then the Los Angeles Dodgers are the best team in baseball. The likely favorite to repeat. And they only got better this offseason. Obviously, the biggest addition they had was Trevor Bauer in the rotation. What has been your favorite baseball team ever? The 2015 New York Mets, baby. Definitely biased there. But Will Smith behind the dish, probably a top 5, maybe even top 3 catcher at this point. Max Muncy, Gavin Lux, he's finally going to get his starting nod with Chris Taylor backing him up. Corey Seager looks to be maybe the best hitter on the team this year outside of Mookie Betts. Justin Turner's back. AJ Pollock finally played the full season, but it was only 60 games, so we'll see if he stays healthy. Mookie Betts is Mookie Betts. Cody Bellinger is Cody Bellinger, man. The Dodgers are just really good. Edwin Rios is riding the bench, but look out for him to be a solid piece out of there. Matt Beatty as well. The Dodgers just have so much depth, man. That's all they do. And then their rotation of Bauer, Buehler, Kershaw, Urias, Price, and then it goes on to Dustin May, Tony Gonsolin, Josiah Gray waiting in the wings. The Dodgers just have a ton of young guns, man. This is a hard team to beat. Oh, man. And then the bullpen, dude. It's so deep. Kenley Jansen, who probably won't be closing games for too much longer because Bruce Gratterall is looking real good. Corey Knebel was an amazing pickup for them. I just know he's going to bounce back and be awesome. Dustin May will probably end up in the bullpen, I think, at least for the start of the season. And then you also got Victor Gonzalez. You also got Blake Trinan, Jimmy Nelson, Joe Kelly. I mean, dude, it just goes on and on and on. Tommy Kahnle's all the way down here. Brandon Morrow's all the way down here. All the way down here. That's crazy. These guys would easily make other ball clubs, but they're playing for the Dodgers. And the Dodgers just do it differently, man. Mookie Betts is going to be their best hitter, as much as I want to put my friend Corey Seager here, because I do think he's in line for an amazing year. And their best pitcher, I'm going to go with Walker Buehler. He was my pick to finish second in NL Cy Young voting. And ladies and gentlemen, that will do it for our power ranking stream. We made it to the end, a 2.5-hour stream, which is pretty long for what I usually do. So, a final recap. Rangers to the top. We got Rangers at the bottom. Pirates next. Rockies 28. Orioles 27. Tigers 26. Reds 25. I'm mad at you, Reds. I'm mad at you. Kansas City Royals 24. Bloodline, I hope you enjoy the rest of your day, too. I hope that goes well for you, man. What's going on, Adam? Red Sox coming in after them. Playoff prediction. Maybe I'll just have to say that for another time, guys. I don't know. This was supposed to be just a power ranking here. I'll show you my playoff teams, though. That I have. I mean, that's on a different thing. But I think we'll save that for another stream. Gotta save the content. Can't push it all in one go, you know? Where was I? Diamondbacks 22, Mariners 21st. Love that rotation. Marlins 20th. Love them a lot. Probably going to finish third in the East, if you ask me. Giants 19th, the Hitter Rehabilitation Center. Cubs the 18th. Pretty rough rotation. Angels 17th. They could have been so much better. Cleveland baseball team 16th. They always manage to get it done with the pitching. Nationals 15th. Too many ifs in that lineup for me. Philadelphia Phillies 14th with Dombrowski at the helm. Who knows what's going to happen? Oakland A's 13th. Cardinals just one game back of the Brewers, in my opinion, so that's 12-11. Twins 10, and then we just did the top 10. I won't spend too much time recapping that because you guys were mostly here for that. The next stream is going to be on Thursday night. I'll be doing a little bit of an opening day recap because I'll be missing most of the games because I'm working a 9-to-5 shift on opening day, which sucks. So that's unfortunate, but I'll be recapping the games and chatting with you guys about what happened. Jared Carabas thinks they have a shot at 85 wins. Robbie, don't drink the Kool-Aid, man. Come on, you're smarter than that. You're smarter than that. Thank you guys for the compliments on the stream. This was a long one, but I had a lot of fun. We had like 130 viewers at some point, which was crazy. But to all my homies, because some of you guys were here the whole time, thank you guys for tuning in and watching. For those who didn't catch it at the beginning, I'm on Twitch now. I got a free copy of Out of the Park Baseball 22, so I'm going to be playing it over there probably on the weekend, I think. So if you guys want to go check that out. I'll link that on my channel and stuff. Follow me on Twitter, Jolly_Olive, for all the latest Jolly updates and stuff like that. And if you donated, I really appreciate you, because, you know, every penny goes a long way. So no Bobucks. I'm sorry, Chester. I'm sorry, man. And yeah, I think that's going to do it for this stream. I'm a little burnt, I'm not going to lie to you guys, but I appreciate all you guys sticking it out with me and hanging out to the end to see the rankings. Have a fantastic rest of your day, until I see you guys next time. And there will be a new video tomorrow on the San Diego Padres, but not what you'd be expecting. So look out for that. But thank you guys. We will see you next time.